Hello, everyone. Thanks for stopping by this live stream. We're going to have a fun one tonight. Got some wonderful guests. We're going to be talking about our top 5 and an honorable mention or 2 upcoming horror movies of 2023. I'm super excited. I know you're super excited. So let's just go ahead and start bringing our guests on. Up first is a wonderful person who really has inspired me to keep doing YouTube through the highs and lows and the days I don't really feel like doing anything. He really is, he's the godfather of Woodsboro, if you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and bring on my buddy, Steven, at Craven Something Scary.
Hey, Eric, what a nice intro, man. That's very inspiring to hear you even say that, man. That's awesome, man. I'm honored, my friend.
Well, it's true. Every time I don't feel like doing something, I'm like, I should just take a day off. I'm like, this man hasn't taken a day off, and look where he is. That's where I want to be, so I'm going to follow suit. So
rock on, man.
I meant every word of it. So up next, we have someone else who inspires me. She's a wonderful creator as well, and she likes those B movies, if you know what I'm talking about. So let's bring on Miss GoryBMovie.
I'm so excited to be here. I've never been on this channel before. We've been friends for a while, so yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, we actually met through Steven.
We did.
So I think this is actually the first. Steven, you've been on my channel before?
First time I've ever been here.
Yeah, like once or I think one time. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's been a while. See, you got to do more live streams. That's what I'm getting from this.
Yes.
All right, and last but not least, we got another good creator. His name's Brandon. I didn't get a chance to meet him, but we crossed paths down in Orlando at Halloween Horror Nights. So let's go ahead and bring on Brandon from ILIKESCARY.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
such a good crew.
Yeah,
all these channels.
Love it.
I think this is a great group.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So as we said, we got top 5 of 2023. I know we all just did our top 5 of 2022, and it was just an amazing year in horror. And I mean, going forward, I think 2023 could actually maybe top it. What do you guys think?
Honestly, coming off of like the pandemic and everything, my expectations were so low last year. So it's such a pleasant surprise that it was so good. So I don't want to jinx it, but I didn't have nearly as many anticipated movies last year as I do this year. So I think you might be right.
100% agree. I mean, what a year last year was, and man, with the titles we've got coming up, it just really feels like horror is really back. And I hate to say that, not to say that it really left, but you know what I mean. It's like it's really coming back in spades, and in the mainstream theaters as well. So it's really, I think Halloween 2018 has a lot to do with helping this resurgence that we're in now, and Scream, I think also, and there's other movies obviously, but it seems to me like things since Halloween 18, things have slowly ramped up every year. It seems like, and look where we're at now. We're going to talk about tonight with amazing films coming up potentially. So
yeah, I think we're having a resurgence of the slasher, because I know in like in the 2010s, horror had another little resurgence because we had like the Conjuring universe started, Insidious. Those are two huge franchises. Saw's been going for a while, but Saw continued. So I think we just got to thank James Wan a lot for where horror is at right now.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I think slashers here since 2018 have just had a huge resurgence.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. Well, shall we go ahead and get started? I mean, who wants?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're going to start with Brandon. I know Brandon will have to go a little bit early, so why don't we go ahead and have Brandon start with your 2 honorable mentions?
All right. So my 2 honorable mentions, and this was very, very hard. Like seriously, I was doing this eating breakfast. I'm like, hold up, man. I'm like, bro. Okay, so my honorable mentions is The Strangers. It's the new Strangers comes out
this year.
Yeah, the new Strangers. This
is just so hard.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was this year.
And Insidious 5. Those are my 2 honorable mentions. And it was hard. I'm a big Insidious fan, man.
Oh yeah, I love Insidious. And it's gonna come up again. I guarantee you.
Right?
So,
the guy who plays the dad, he's directing this time, right?
He's directing. Yeah, Patrick Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Who's also I get it confused. I mean, I sometimes kind of interchange Insidious and Conjuring because Patrick Wilson's like the lead in both. But Patrick Wilson is directing 5. I think I saw somewhere that the subtitle is going to be like Insidious Fear the Dark or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen something like that too. Insidious Fear the Dark.
But on IMDb Pro, it's just showing as Insidious 5, so no clue yet. But all right, let's go counterclockwise here. Miss Gory, what are your 2 honorable mentions?
This was so hard. This was making it harder for me over here, Brandon. But I went with these 2 on the bottom just because until I've seen like a you know what? I'm gonna change it again. Okay, I'm changing it again. I'm changing it live, guys, live. Well, one of them's Gremlins 3. I'm so excited. We haven't had a Gremlins movie since 1991. It's supposed to come out in December, which is perfect because they tend to be Christmassy. And I like Gremlins too, so I've enjoyed the whole franchise. We're also getting Secrets of the Mogwai TV show this year, an animated one. So I'm really excited for Gremlins to come back. All these franchises are coming back, and it's kind of like seeing old friends. But I haven't seen those little Gremlins for a long time. So them, and then shoot, I'm gonna change it. I'm going with Knock at the Cabin just because I don't know if I trust you, M. Night. Sometimes you're amazing. Sometimes you give us old in the happening. So I love you. I will always see your movies, but
that one.
Yeah, I want to see it real bad, but you never know with him. I mean, Old looked amazing too, and it's really entertaining, but I wouldn't say it's really good.
Okay, I wasn't too invested in Knock at the Cabin until I saw the newest trailer.
Yeah.
I believe I saw one maybe it was for Megan, but I saw a newer trailer for it, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm on board, but we'll reserve that because in my experience, M. Night is kind of a hit or miss. All right, Steven, what do you got as your honorable mentions?
All right. Well, it's funny you say that because Knock at the Cabin is one of my honorable mentions as well. And I'm in the same boat as all of you, I believe, that it is so hit and miss. He's either flaming hot, torching hot.
Like a talkie.
Yeah, like a talkie hot. There you go. He is talkie hot or he is Eskimo cold. It's just one of the two. For me, anyway, it just, either it's really good or it's just like, oh, what a dud. And so I'm really hoping this is not, this is going to be one of those that we're talking about afterwards. Like, wow, look at M. Night. He brought it, man. So that's one for me. My second one is one that I'm very excited about. And I've purposely not watched the trailer because I have seen still shots and I did a video on this movie with still shots, but it is the movie Sick, Kevin Williamson's slasher film. It's coming out Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that's like this Friday.
It's this Friday. They dropped the
Okay.
trailer. They dropped the trailer over the weekend, and then are dropping the movie on Friday. It's like 7 days. So I'm very excited. Kevin Williamson's co-written it and he's produced it with Blumhouse, and it's it's seeing him back in a slasher, and all of my hopes and expectations are through the roof, which is probably going to bite me. But I'm hoping that that it delivers, guys, because he knows how to write dialogue, he knows how to write characters, and if he does that again in true form and brings us a good slasher suspenseful movie, I will be ecstatic. So Friday morning, I've already cleared my calendar. So Friday morning, I'm watching it first thing so that I can get videos up on it before they leave the collective. So those are my two honorable mentions. Sick, and I just hope I'm not sick after watching it. I hope I'm going to be like feeling great. And
no.
and Knock at the Cabin.
Okay. I just a little comment on M. Night Shyamalan. He holds a very negative distinction for me. The only time I've ever walked out of a theater was during an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Was it Lady in the Water?
No.
I got stuck twice at the drive-in on that one. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It was The Happening with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, but that's so entertaining.
Oh,
It's
I never
so
watched it.
Entertaining.
Uh,
That movie.
I got to the point where like the lady is accusing him of something, and he's just like, "No, we're not." And I'm like, "Bro, I can't do this. I gotta go." So that's the only time I've ever walked, and it's one of the 4 movies I've ever seen that I don't like. So
Wow.
I've had a lot of people say like it's not scary because it's trees or whatever. Okay, watch The Ruins. It can be done well. He just didn't.
Oh yeah, it can definitely. It wasn't that it wasn't scary or anything like that. It's just like the performances were, in my opinion, not great. The story just wasn't executed well. So that's I did finish it because I thought it deserved a second chance. I just didn't go to the theater for it. But yeah.
So Eric, what you're really saying is that The Happening wasn't happening.
Oh.
No,
I would
it
have
wasn't
loved
happening.
to spit take right then.
Oh, not The Happening. That's bad.
So no, The Happening wasn't happening. Not for me, at least. I mean, I'm pretty sure it made a little bit of money, so happened for some people.
Yeah.
All right, my honorable mentions for this year. One actually is Knock at the Cabin. It wasn't on the list until I saw that new updated trailer that actually showed like more, like a little bit more. I hope it didn't give away too much. It is one of those things where I kind of feel like I know the whole movie right now. So, but it did intrigue me enough with that new trailer to say it's on my honorable mention list. So that's one. My second honorable mention is going to be a little bit of a curveball, but that's our buddy's movie coming out this year. The Shape of Halloween. Mr. Brett James Bishop has made a Halloween movie. I spoke with him. He sent me this so that I could show it. I'm making a video of my top 5 as well upcoming, and I wanted to include it. So he actually made this. I don't know if he made it for me, but I was the first person to see it, and then he released it on Instagram. But it's called The Shape of Halloween. No specific release date, but he did inform me that it will be released this year. So, I mean, how can you not want more Michael Myers in your life? So, those are my two: Knock at the Cabin and The Shape of Halloween.
Well, Eric, if I may quickly jump in here, just to say that since we're talking about it, this Saturday, the 14th, on my normal Saturday night stream, Brett was going to be on the channel, and we are going to be premiering the world premiere of the first trailer for The Shape of Halloween. He's dropping it on Monday the 16th, but he's going to premiere it on my channel early on Saturday. So Saturday night, guys, come watch it.
I got to see that.
Even that little one he cut together for your previous stream was awesome. So
it was.
So I know I've been talking to him, and he's been going hard working on this stuff. And And we'll talk about this more upcoming because I know he's working on like an Indiegogo for it and everything. And I told him I'd be sharing out the link every video I had, so help him out. But
Definitely.
yeah, so those are my two, and I'm super excited about that trailer. I'll definitely be there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna keep going in this direction here. So Brandon, you want to go ahead and what is your number 5?
All right. So my number 5 is Saw.
Saw 10.
Yeah, Saw 10.
Nice.
So a Saw 10. I had to throw that in there. So yeah, I'm comfortable with that. Number 5 for me is Saw 10.
Yeah, it's from what I understand a prequel because John Kramer's back.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
And Shawnee Smith
Mm-hmm.
back as well for Amanda.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That we'll hear more about that one later, I'm sure. All right, Miss Gory, what do you got at number 5?
This is so hard. I'm just throwing it out there because I had to change my list again.
Oh my gosh, Gory.
I'm just throwing it out there. Renfield and Maxine look amazing. I just booted them off my list just because. So hard. So hard. Okay. I'm going to go a Dark Harvest because this was my most anticipated of last year. The book is so good. It's so different. And I really get excited when we have something that's like, I've never seen a movie like that before. So it's David Slade's doing it also, which, I mean, we saw that he was amazing when he did 30 Days a Night. So I trust him. The story is really interesting. It's based on a book, so I won't give away too much because I think, honestly, this one might be more fun if you don't read the book first because the book has some pretty big twists in it, and it might be fun to see those on the screen for the first time. But essentially, there's this really small town where no one's ever allowed to leave. And I think it's on Halloween. It's like during their harvest. There's a big, like, pumpkin-headed creature that makes its way to the church, and all the boys in town are allowed to go hunt it. And this one guy, his brother won last year. Now, if you win, you catch it, you get to leave town. Nobody ever hears from you again, but his brother did it. So he's like, I can do this. I can get out of this town because this town's weird. And so he's part of this group of boys who's trying to catch this thing. And this thing is monstrous looking. It's huge. So I just think, gosh, with really cool practical effects and stuff, this could be an incredible film. So I'm excited. It was supposed to be out last year, got pushed back, something to do with studios or whatever. But yeah, it's supposed to definitely be this year.
Nice. I haven't even heard of that. I just want to say what's up to the people in the chat. Sorry. I'm not ignoring you all. I do see y'all down there. What's up, Horror Boys? I see you, Denisha. What's up, Omni, Jason? I see you all. I love you all. We're just rolling through these really quick. I'm not ignoring you. I promise. All right. So yeah, I haven't even heard of that one. So that's why I love this list because this is stuff that like there's so many things that could be on here that some of us don't even know exists. Right. What do you got at number 5, Mr. Craven?
Okay. So here we go. I just watched the trailer again for this earlier, and I am so ready for White Powder Sugar Bear. And
I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah.
I want to see for that.
Oh yeah.
So here's the thing. Would you consider that horror?
It's not technically listed as horror on IMDb or on Letterboxd.
Yeah, I mean, people are bodies are hitting the floor and getting pulled apart. So I mean, I guess it's up to individual interpretation, but there are limbs being ripped off of people in this movie. So that's
I think
pretty
it's just
horrific.
As much horror as piranha or any other creature.
Right,
Creature feature. It works. I do think this is done more to be fun. I mean, for me, like when it comes to that line, like, do you consider it horror? I think, is anything in this film supposed to actually horrify you? And I don't think so. This is supposed to be really, really fun. But then, like I said, I feel that way about a lot of creature features. So I think it can.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm going to throw it in there. What the heck? I mean, I think we'll be spending most of the time laughing more than anything, but there's going to be some kills for sure. And I mean, who doesn't want to see a bear hyped up on white sugar powder? I mean, I guess just going after people and doing crazy feats, lunging in the air.
Yeah, when it lunges at the ambulance in that trailer, I'm like, all right, this is just absurd right now, and I love it every minute of it.
Exactly,
it's crazy.
I think it will depend on how the kills are done. If you see any
Yeah.
gore, then I'd say it's absolutely a horror movie. If you don't and it's pretty tame, then I would say, not. But I'm really hoping that it does because I love,
That's not
Oh, yeah,
rated PG-13. So
Yeah,
that's a
that's
good
the
sign.
thing I was thinking of,
Rated R.
PG-13. But Megan was PG-13, and Megan got a pretty good amount slipped
Yeah.
in there. So
Yep.
And
we could do it.
Elizabeth Banks is directing it. So yay for female
Yeah.
directors.
That's actually Elizabeth Banks. So I'm all for it, man. That's my number 5. I'm really excited about it. It's coming out. I think it's in February next month.
Yeah, it's pretty early in the year. So
Yeah.
I'm excited
coming
for
out
it too. I just didn't put it on this list. Like I kind of put that alongside Renfield. Like Renfield is definitely like it's got horror elements because it's got Dracula in it, but I don't know. When I saw the trailer, I'm like, this looks hilarious right now.
That trailer threw me through a loop. I thought Nicolas Cage was going to be Renfield. So I'm like, oh, okay. He's Dracula. So
That was crazy.
know who he was playing.
I'm really looking forward to both of those, but I would go ahead and spoil it. Those two didn't make my list. So, but what did make my list at number 5? Skinamarink.
What?
I don't know if y'all have heard of Skinamarink.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Sounds insane, dude.
Yeah.
Have you heard about it, Gory? Gory, did you say you hadn't heard about it?
No, I didn't even really understand the word you just said.
Skinamarink.
That's the thing you made up.
Here's the synopsis. This is all we have so far. 2 young boys wake up in the middle of the night. Their father is missing, and all the doors and windows in their house is gone. That's all you got.
Is it like the Skinamarink getting Skinamarink?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, it is taken from that. But the all right, really quick, Jason. No spoilers for any of the movies that have came out this year or anything. So I don't think I have moderators, but let's.
Here, let me leave you a chat, and you can make me one if you'd like, my friend. Here we go.
I'll help out if you want. Jason's pretty cool though. He probably just didn't know.
Yeah. If you have seen Megan, it is still fairly new. So let's not. Let me see here. I don't think I have a moderator. I've not needed moderators before. This is exciting.
I like how you got
I'm like,
everybody's a moderator.
Oh, we got sex bots here, so we definitely need to. It's time, buddy.
Guys, I'll tell you my advice on how I've gotten rid of sex bots. You can change it on your streams to where only subscribers can comment, and they have to have been a subscriber for at least a minute. You won't get any more.
Yeah,
I don't see any of the bots.
Nope.
They're there. If you just throw me a wrench, and I'll take
I think I just added you as a moderator there.
All right, let's see.
Oh man! As soon as he said it, the bots came.
There they
No,
are.
there's a bot now.
Let's see here.
I can
I
help.
was about to say I don't see any bots on my side.
They're gone. I
see you just hit them. All right, Sarah, I'm gonna make you a mod as well. You don't have to, but if you'd like to, it would really help out.
Hey, Val, the General's here as well. That's awesome. Good to see you, Val.
Sorry, just taking care of some stuff here. Didn't realize that was going to be an issue, but just no spoilers for anything and no sex bots. So yes, my number 5 was Skinamarink.
That's what brought him.
Cool.
That's skin. That's what brought the bots. After you
Oh my God, Craven, you're right.
Yep.
That could be it. That could be
listening. I think so.
That kind of sounds that Skinamarink. Kind of sounds like another movie that's coming out this year, which it could be hit or miss. It's by the guy who did Host, but he also did Dashcam. So, but Boogeyman, which is supposed to be an adaptation of Stephen King's short story, but essentially these girls have lost their mother, and they're trying to get their father to understand that there's something wrong in their house. There's like an entity in their house, and he's so overcome with grief that he's not listening. But if you've read the short story, it's really creepy, but it doesn't sound a lot like it. So I don't know. It didn't make my list. It just kind of sounded like that. But I like the no doors and windows. What's happening? That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. If you watch the trailer, all I'll say is they used really good sound design. Like it comes out in like a few weeks, I think. Like it comes out pretty soon.
Nobody tells me anything. I am out of the loop. This is the loop. This is me over here.
Well, you're in now. Don't worry. You're in the right
Brandon,
place.
make a wish for your
I mean, the thought of having no windows and doors is just very confining and claustrophobic. I can't. That's just a horrible. It's a very unpleasant thought.
Yeah, I think it's gonna scare me a lot because movies like I can see anything. I've had people be like, "You've seen Serbian film?" I'm like, "It's a movie. It can't hurt you. You know, it might upset you, but it can't hurt you. It's just a dang movie." But Cube. The movie Daylight with Sylvester Stallone, some of those claustrophobic ones, I have to take a break because I start to get like a lot of like pressure in my chest, and I'm so claustrophobic.
Oh, yeah. Daylight.
Jason loves your shirt, Gory.
It's a good shirt.
Daylight. Sorry, just
want to highlight this comment. With no doors and windows, every room could be a bathroom.
It's on fire tonight. I love that guy.
All right, let's keep chugging along. I think I marked it number 4 up there. All right, Brandon, what do you got at your number 4 top anticipated?
Mine is Evil Dead Rise. So
number 4?
Yeah, number 4, Evil Dead Rise. I like that it's new. You know, they're starting to do something new. There's no Bruce Campbell. It's like they're trying to kind of go towards like more of that Conjuring. Like, I don't know. It's just starting like they're trying to kind of change it from the trailers I've seen. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I had to put it at number 4 because it's not my favorite, but I'm excited to see it. You know, see the story behind it. The trailer got me hyped for it, so can't wait to see what they do with it.
Yeah, and Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi are on the production team. Bruce Campbell, in an interview, said he's been involved every step of the way, but then he clarified Ash Williams will not be in the movie.
He also said this is the scariest one yet.
And he said something about the Necronomicon. He said something. He's like, I kind of envisioned there's like 3 of them. Sam has one, Fede has one, who did the 2013 remake, and this is the 3rd one. So I'm like, okay, and I like the way that the new one looks with the teeth on the side.
Yeah, with the teeth, that looks crazy.
Dude, it looks creepy. We'll hear more about it later.
It's gonna be on my list later, so I'll talk more about it.
I have a hunch.
We're actually gonna jump up to the diagonal. Steven, what do you got at number 4?
Ooh, okay. So number 4, listen, this director has come a long way since VHS. And it was good in VHS, but he has come a long way. Mr. Ty West, the one that's number 4 is Maxine, because I'm telling you, Pearl and X are my 2 favorite movies of the year last year. Number 1 and 2, Pearl and X. And so I am ready to see what he does with Maxine. We've got Mia Goth coming back. Man, that girl's amazing.
Powerhouse.
And so powerful. If we could ever get her in a Scream movie, I think I'd pass out. I seriously would.
Oh my God, I'd love to see that because you would.
Like, let's be out. Hey, Mia Goth just signed on. But seriously.
My mom tells the story of like her birthday one year. She got a stuffed panda and she was so excited she shook a bunch and then fell over. That would be you. That would be you.
Hey, Craven is hilarious.
I just imagine your daughter coming up and be like, "Dad, did you hear that Mia Goth's going to be in the new Scream 7?" And then you just uncontrollably like hugging your daughter like, "This is the best news ever."
Oh, yes.
Is this how we get him to take a nap?
Right. Exactly. No, the problem is I'd be streaming for like 24 hours straight. Have you heard? Every 5 minutes.
I would say, I mean, Stephen, it could happen because I mean, I would say Samara Weaving has been one of the biggest new scream queens of this new generation.
Yep.
And Mia Goth just pushed herself up to that list as well.
Yeah.
And they got Samara Weaving for Scream. They also got Jenna Ortega. They've got a lot of the big names in like new horror right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if she is in the next one. If they can get her.
Gosh.
She's really picky though. She tends to pick a lot of like indie type or bizarre things. So I don't know if she would.
Maybe write a special role for her that would fit the story, but be a little different.
I would love to see it too. She would just knock it out of the park.
Yeah,
she can handle cheese and slashers and things that are not so artsy. I mean, she married Shia LaBeouf. I mean, Buff, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, she can handle it.
I mean, I already feel bad for Melissa Barrera in 6 because she's got to contend with Hayden Panettiere and Samara Weaving and Jenna Ortega
and Courtney Cox.
And if they bring Mia Goth in 7,
I wish you and I could see this movie together because you and I have the same opinions about part 5.
Yeah,
we're gonna be like, I don't know.
I know, but Maxine, hey, look, she's going to Hollywood. It's gonna be set in the 80s, which is my decade. She's gonna be there. Well, the 80s is the best movies, best music, everything, and so she's going there to continue her film career, and I'm sure there's gonna be some violence. So I'm excited to see where this thing goes. So
what I understand, because in the 80s, porn changed a lot. Porn became kind of a direct-to-video thing. You'd have like the weird adult section in every video store with the curtain. So that's from what I understand, they're kind of playing into that this time around, and then also talking about her past, which we got introduced to in X.
Right. Yep. So that's my number 4.
Steven, what if you saw that Mia Goth and Sosie Bacon?
Bro, come on, man.
That was room for bacon.
Defibrillator.
That's a Christmas wish list right there.
With the cardiac.
Guys, I really let's not like kill him before the year's even started.
I want to be here.
Let the man at least see Scream 6. He's talked about it enough. He deserves to see it.
All right, we'll move away from the Scream talk for now. I'm sure we'll talk more Scream 6 here very soon. But for now, Miss Gory, what do you got at number 4?
Okay, so yeah, I totally with you on Maxine, but I'm gonna go with this one just because again, this is one I've heard about for a really long time, and I mean, I heard about this like 2 years ago in the works, and this one didn't get pushed back. They've just been working on it for a long time, which again, that gives me a vote of confidence. This is The Last Voyage of the Demeter. So I can't pronounce his name super well. Andre Overdahl, I want to say. He's the guy who did Troll Hunter. He did Autopsy of Jane Doe. This man like knows atmosphere. He knows scares. And The Last Voyage of the Demeter, it's based on this chapter in Dracula. So Dracula gets shipped from Carpathia to London in a box. And of course, he needs to eat. So during that, he kills everybody. And in the book, like the most horrifying part is I think the last guy standing just to keep the ship going. He's tied to the wheel and he's barely even alive. But I've always wondered what was it like for these men with no radio, no nothing. At night, there's this creature slinking around, killing people, and they have no way of calling for help. Like I always thought that sounded so horrifying, and they should just do like a chapter. And now we're going to get a movie from this guy who just gives us incredible visuals. I think this movie could be really, really scary.
Autopsy of Jane Doe was it came out of nowhere for me. I'm like, okay, yeah, I've never heard of it, but I'll watch it. Just to make sure, we're talking about the one with like Emile Hirsch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm afraid of like the water and at night, and so you have the ship. In the middle of the night, it's dark, it's foggy, the waves are rough, and then Dracula appears and there's nowhere to run, this movie could be so scary.
Yeah, just that premise definitely could be like nightmare inducing.
Yeah. The only problem is because we know how it ends, Dracula makes it. So I hope they give us something extra. I mean, Dracula has been told so many different ways. You can manipulate it without people like crying that that's not how it is in the book. I think there's a little bit of leeway there. So hopefully they add a little something to the story.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure they could.
Yeah. Maybe someone gets away or
even if they go to like kill him or something, it could be something where like they do it and then you just see like a little twitch of his finger right at the end or something like that.
Yeah, and the last guy too, he like writes a letter and stuff, and maybe he was trying to protect somebody who did get away or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, I haven't even heard of that, but once again, sounds amazing.
Jason, my beard looks so good. Thank you. You're so sweet. No, everybody else here has terrific beards. I actually don't know what beard you're talking about because all the beards are on fire tonight. I'm a little upset that all my good friends have beards and I don't. Nobody gave me the memo, but I'm working on
it. Man,
Um,
as far as that movie goes, though, I just want to say one thing. I'll take my chances with the sharks. I'm out of there.
You guys know how it is when you watch a lot of horror. It's so rare to actually be scared. And like I said, like claustrophobia, that's something that gets me. Dark water gets me. I was like, this one could be really scary. So I'm excited.
Really quick before I throw out my number 4, thank you, Denisha, and that's true. There are links in the chat to all these wonderful people's channels, as well as in the video description. So please do subscribe to them if you haven't. All right.
Appreciate it.
And my number 4, it's already been mentioned. It's Insidious 5. I love all the Insidious movies, even the last one, Last Key. I know some people weren't a fan of it. It definitely was like the weakest in the series, but I liked it. I love all of them. I really like non-linear storytelling, and the way they've went. It went like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like the order is way out there, but now they're bringing back all the original cast from the first one or the first 2, and it's going to be 10 years later. And yeah, we already said Patrick Wilson's directing it.
Man,
and it's James Wan as well, right?
I want to say it's James Wan. Yeah,
he's involved. So it's like it's going to be great. I think so.
I think know what the plot is. I know it's going back to that family. Oh, isn't it that the kid is in college now and he's getting like?
Yeah, it's 10 years after the events of part 2, so he would be like college age.
Yeah.
So they could go anywhere. I know as the last one that included them ended, they both were hypnotized by I think Elisa's friends to forget their astral projecting ability, which would prevent them from getting into that situation again. I'm sure something's going to happen to unlock that and bring it back. So
is Elise back? They kind of went off with her in the last couple, didn't they? It was like the girl in the city who had a broken leg.
Well, she technically died in the first one. Spoiler for the first one.
Oh yeah, God, it's so long.
Yeah,
Elise died in the first one. She was in the second one. The third one was how she got started. The fourth one was continuing her adventures before she meets the Lamberts.
Right. Yes, they've been like following her, but they've kind of abandoned the family. Now they're going back to the family, right?
Yeah. So, but if they're going back into the further, they can always find her there. So I'm sure she'll be in it again because Lynn Shay is just awesome. So
yeah, man, Lynn Shay. Yeah, I got to meet her, man. She is like so small. She's like,
oh my gosh,
super cool. She's super cool though. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Wow. Do you have a picture?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out on your Instagram. That'd be so cool because you're pretty tall, right?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I'm 6'3". She was like a kid to me.
That's so cool. It's like when I met Derek Mears, I was like, hello up there.
I feel like even I would be short next to Derek Mears, and I'm 6'2", so
he's a giant.
She was actually the first celebrity I ever met, like horror celebrity.
Wow, that's so
Mine
cool.
was Bill Murray.
Wow, what was it
cool.
Yeah, I met him at a golf course in California when I was still in the Navy. So it was so cool.
Oh, mine was Danny Glover. He came to our town because we have like this big festival every year. And for the school newspaper, I got to interview him. And he was super sweet. He bought me a grape soda. He's like, are you thirsty? I'm thirsty. He bought me a soda.
Here it is right here. So.
Oh, wow. She does look tiny.
Wow, she really is short. Like she barely reaches her shoulder.
Wow. She's little.
Super like small. So, but she's super cool. She's super friendly. It's crazy. Yeah, she's probably one of the nicest celebrities I've ever met.
That's so
All
cool.
right. Well, with that, we have someone knocking at the door. We're going to bring him in real quick. You all probably know him. If you don't, you're going to love him. My buddy Destin at Destination Station.
What's up?
What up? Oh, I
There
love
he
you
is.
too, Bearded.
All right, buddy. You're a little late to the party, so you got to round them off real quick. We need 2 honorable mentions, and then your number 5 and number 4, both anticipated. You're on the clock.
Okay, what are we talking about? No, okay, so top 5 most anticipated horror movies of 2023?
Yeah, you got 2 honorable mentions.
Man, all right. So I got to start off with the honorable mentions. Right?
Yeah. Start with honorable mentions.
All right, I would have to say for honorable mentions. All right, hold on. I forget everything that's coming out this year, actually. So hold on, let me bring that up. Give me a minute, because I don't want to leave anything out, because I might have. Sorry, I just got back from dinner with my wife, so I'm running behind here.
All right. While you're looking it up, we're gonna go ahead and jump to Brandon for number 3. And just in case anyone wondering, Brandon is gonna have to go earlier. That's why I'm always going to him first. I'm not like picking on him or anything. I just want to make sure he gets his list out there.
Thanks, man.
So, Brandon, what is your number 3 top anticipated?
Exorcist, The Exorcist.
Oh, okay.
How cool is it that they're getting the mom back?
Yeah, they're gonna, man.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for The Exorcist. A big Exorcist fan, actually. Linda Blair, man, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. So I'm excited.
I just
Did you see
rewatched
the
all those
TV show?
movies, too.
What you say, Bearded?
Did you watch the Exorcist TV show?
No, I did not see this TV show.
Watch the first season of the TV show.
I've been wanting to watch that. I've heard
it was so good, like surprisingly good, and I don't want to spoil anything. Just watch the first season, dude. It's
on Netflix, or is it on like a different?
I'm not sure what streaming service it's on.
Was it Hulu? I don't remember. It's really good. It's got Gina Davis in it. She was awesome.
Yeah,
check it out.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil any twists or anything, but yeah, I was surprised by the quality of it.
Yeah, I'm
the second season went a little out there, but it was still good to me. Destin, you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. What's your 2 honorable mentions, my friend?
All right. It might change the date the closer we get to it, but apparently we're supposed to get The Nun 2.
We are getting The Nun 2 this year.
Yeah, so I as much hate as the first movie got, I actually had a little bit of fun with it. It was not as scary as I would hope for it to be, like what I wanted, what I expected, but it's it was serviceable. It scratched the itch for what I was looking for at the moment, and I guess like I might not feel the same if I rewatch it. I don't know, but The Nun 2, I think that it has the potential to improve over the first film. So that's my honorable mention for my first one.
I loved the ending of The Nun and how it tied back in.
With Frenchie?
With Frenchie. If you watch
funny.
I loved the way they tied it in. That when I saw that part, I'm like, okay, that just elevated the movie completely with those few seconds. I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I'm on board.
I want to see them get Thaisa and Vera in a movie together sometime.
Yeah.
They've done some weird stuff before with like time and stuff, and I think they were actually probably related.
They could. It'd be interesting. But
in real life, obviously they are. I mean, like in the movies.
Yeah. All right. Second honorable mention.
Like as bad as I think this movie's gonna be, it has the potential to be fun, and it's the Winnie the Pooh horror film.
Blood and Honey.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Blood and Honey. Yeah.
I watched The Killing Tree by that guy this last year. My expectations are pretty low.
I mean, my expectations are too, but you know what? I've seen some pretty awful movies that I still had fun with. So
Yeah, and that's a good part of it because so my expectations went down when I saw the mean one.
I
Because
still have not seen that yet.
okay, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just what I just
That
said.
one
My
was good, wasn't it?
expectations went down when I saw the mean one. I maintain that statement, and I won't go any further.
Okay, all right.
They're not
That's right.
made by the same people, but same
Mean
premise.
One's the same director, right?
It is.
Isn't it? I can't remember. The same director for Blood and Honey is Mean One, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I
Who's
didn't
the
think
writer?
so.
Oh, I don't know. It is the same one from Killing Tree.
Okay, but
So how is Mean One related to it?
it's just related in the way that it's a popular children's tale cartoon reshaped to be a horror movie.
Yeah, they're just taking like an old story and just making a horror spin on it.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Okay, it's not the
crazy.
same guy. But guys, the guy who wrote it did Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, Pocahontas 2, Hunchback of Notre Dame 2.
Oh yeah, I'm not
That's
gonna
why.
lie.
That's why he's doing it, because all those failed.
Mm.
All those fail.
So he's like, you know what? I'm pissed off now. I'm gonna make a horror movie out
Who
of
are we
it.
gonna hire for the mean one? Let's see.
Right.
It could still be. I mean, it was fun. I will say it was fun, and like because it's not public domain, or it's not what's the word? I guess public domain. So like
Yeah.
they couldn't actually say the Grinch, which is why they called it the mean one.
Right.
And like they did some pretty funny, like very old school, like play on words to try to work it in there, so what they're saying, but they don't technically say it, so they can't. So legally, they're safe.
Oh,
But
man.
and
I
it,
didn't want to see it.
oh, I 100%. I think people should see it. You're gonna laugh. But
At what?
yeah, but like
Yeah,
it's a
what?
fun time, but it's not like I don't know. It just wasn't what I expected. So
It's not cinema, but it's good. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
don't go out for a steak. You're going out for like a Frosty, but it doesn't mean it's not tasty. Right?
if you're going to see like David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown, don't. You're not gonna get that. So, he's in it. But yeah. Anyway, okay. So, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and then Nun 2. Okay, those are your two honorable mentions. What do you number 5?
Let's see. I mean, y'all said it earlier. Like, I'm kind of curious of where this Exorcist is gonna go.
Okay.
But it's not like I need it now. It's not like I need it tomorrow. Like, I'm waiting for this movie. I could wait next year. I could wait a couple years for this. But I
It's
do
supposed
want
to
to
be
see
like
it.
end of the year, right?
Yeah. And but I am curious of like what they're gonna do with it, and I hope it hits hard, but I hope it also isn't as intense as the first movie. And I know that's crazy saying, like, if anybody's like a fan of the first film, I just feel like that movie is really not for everybody. And that's like a one-time watch for me in particularly. So I hope this movie's a little bit more mainstream, but they still have that hit, like The Conjuring. Like, that's about as evil as I want to get.
The Conjuring was pretty
I
evil,
hope it
man.
goes.
But
that
it wasn't The
poster they made for
Exorcist
this
evil.
one?
It wasn't that much,
I don't know, dude. Like, she was levitating on that chair upside down, puking blood. Like,
Well, I'm not talking about the imagery. I'm talking about some of the stuff that was
He
said.
said and did. That was off the walls.
Yeah, that was like a little
Like
bit
the
too much,
crucifix
like,
dildo?
yeah,
That kind of stuff?
yes. Like, I don't care to like
Oh my God.
I don't care to like
It's in the movie, guys. I didn't
revisit
make it
that.
up.
Yeah, it is. There's certain things, but the movie works. It's evil. It's gross. You want to take a shower after you watch that movie.
Yeah.
And you want to go to confession.
I just found out about that scene, by the way, because I always wondered, like, how did they do this with the little girl? She has a box that has like blood on it, and she's supposed to be like stabbing.
It's not really her.
It is her in the scene. It's not her. The close up of her crotch is not her. That's the double. But she did have to stab herself. I mean, that's her face there.
Yeah.
They gave her a box with like blood on it, and they're just like, tell her, just stab at it. She has no idea what it's actually supposed to be.
it's going to be a trilogy too, so that's going to be
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
They hope.
Well-
They're hoping for a trilogy. If this movie doesn't hit,
Yeah.
I don't
It's David
see-
Gordon.
They're hoping for a trilogy.
Well, my
Okay.
question is this: at what point in the trilogy is the love story going to happen? That David Gordon
Yeah,
Green
that's
is
what I'm
right.
Are they going to wait for the third one or the second one to introduce Corey Cunningham?
Yes,
Are
please.
we
And
dogging on
you
Halloween?
know how they're going to end it. They're going to end the whole entire possession with a kiss. That's
Reagan
how they-
Cunningham.
Or Reagan or
Love.
the whoever the possessed person is, they won't show up until the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Corey's
And
just gonna
we'll just build up
come
to
in and
it.
throw hands and beat down Pazuzu and take over Reagan himself.
Something like that. I'm just saying, guys, there's a track record. Watch
Yeah.
for the love story.
Hey, but if he keeps up the same record, that means that first one's gonna be fire.
First one
'Cause,
can be
like,
great. That's right.
2000 and hey,
And I like kills
all
too,
of them
man.
were good. All of them were good. They were what they were meant to be. People just have a problem with what they were meant to be.
I mean,
So
here's what I will say, and I've said this before. With franchises, historically, it's been money people who are like, well, I think this works and this is going to make money, and that's why we've gotten some weird sequels that we've come to love over the years. But we can't deny that they were weird. At least David Gordon Green is trying to tell his own story. It may not land with everybody, but this isn't about just making money. He's trying to tell a story. And I think he did a good job.
I don't think that was his original story, though. I don't think that was the original idea for the ending.
I think they did change things around a bit, but my
Yeah.
point is, it's not like a bunch of producer types like the Weinsteins were meddling, saying, well, you need this and you need this and you need this in order to get teenagers' butts in seats and get their money. I think he really sat down and was like, he wanted to he had something to say about this character and Haddonfield and the evil there.
Although
original,
they changed the ending after screen tests.
the original story was going to be November 1st.
Mhm.
Like after that happened with Karen, it was going to start out November 1st. Lori was going to go out with a puncture in her stomach and rock out, and it was going to go from there. And
Rock out. What do you mean? Like
they were going to just go at it like they did in Ends. They were going to fight with her, and she was. It's like they almost had to think like, hold up, is this going to be, the right thing to do? It's not going to make sense because she had staples in her stomach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what stopped them. So they thought about that
Mhm.
during what happened over the years. You guys know I'm not going to say it, but
Right.
yeah. In Halloween 2018, they both were going to die. Karen was going to shoot Michael with a crossbow. Lori was going to bleed out. And that wasn't, that was the original plan.
And then there's the one where Lori's going to get possessed. But I
Yeah.
just like that it was never a producer saying, you have to do this. They made the decisions
True.
they made because it was the story they wanted to tell. I mean,
Yeah.
I think when you're writing anything, you might change your mind and stuff. But, and there's the screenings that do affect it. But it just feels so much more like a actual real story than some of the, I love Halloween 6, guys. But come on, that's a mess.
mhm.
Yes, I agree.
And
Yeah,
even if you
and-
don't like the story,
I mean,
the
moments of
cinematography,
greatness.
the performances, and that were so good.
Yep. 6 has its charms, man. I'm sorry. I know it's not that great, but it's
The cinematography in 6 is actually really good too. but-
and it's David Donald Pleasance's last movie, and that's the main reason I go back to 5 and 6.
now
is
remind me,
Donald.
it's 6 where you have the clown cops, nothing above, nothing below.
That's
That's
5.
5.
5,
That's
okay.
5. Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, man, Donald Pleasance is straight up psycho in 5, man. He's like grabbing Jamie and like
Using his bait.
he's like, yeah, like just
Yeah.
yeah,
You
it's
want
a
the girl? Take her!
Take her, tell me. Anyway, he's awesome though. His performance is great. I love it.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm sad that 6 was the last one he got to be in, but
Yeah.
we won't dunk on Halloween anymore. It's a new year. We're not getting any Halloween this year. Okay, Dustin, you're number 4.
Okay. There's this movie. It actually just came out on the 10th for streaming, but I've been really looking forward to it. As soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, I like the actors that are in it. And I was like, I don't know how horror it is, but it kind of gives you like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre feel. And I like the premise and I like the actors, but it's this movie called The Price You Pay. Have y'all heard of it?
Never heard of it.
No.
Look it
Adding it
up.
to my list, though.
It's got Steven
Yeah.
Dorff and what's his name? Emil Hirsch.
Emil Hirsch.
Emil
Yeah, we
Hirsch.
talked about him earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. Them two, I don't know if they're brothers related, but they're like, it's like they rob a pawn shop store. They're on the run. They take someone hostage. Kind of gave me a feel of like, you know, the beginning of From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh.
And from what the trailer was doing. And then they come across this farm to hide out, and they realize that they're doing something crazy underground. And I'm just like, whoa, that has my attention. It kind of had Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. It could be garbage, but I think about it all the time. Like, I'm ready to see this movie. I want to see it, you know?
Nice. I'll add that to my list. I've never even heard of it, but if it's already out, we can already watch it. That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Exactly.
That's true. I've been waiting a while. I think I'm going to watch it this weekend.
All right. Well, now, Destin, you're number 3, and then I'll catch up.
Okay. Let me think. I'm not sure. I don't know if they're shooting for it or what, but is the new Insidious coming out this year, or are they just talking about
It
making
is.
this year?
Yeah.
It'll be out this year.
It is going to be coming out this year.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my number 3.
Yeah,
wanna
I
see
think
what
that was my
Patrick
number
Wilson
4.
does. Yeah, I want to see what he does behind the camera.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we're caught up. Miss Gory, what is your number 3?
Okay, I know this is gonna be way higher for you guys. Scream. The only reason it's not higher for me is it was probably my number 1 last year, and you know the trailer looked amazing, and then all the first reviews were like, it's as good as the first one, and the hype, guys, the hype's it can kill you, and I really try not to get on that. That's why, you know, like I used to, like the last Chucky movie that came out, I was doing what Craven does, like pausing it and stuff, and I think it for me, it made it just. It couldn't live up to that hype, you know? And I liked Scream. I like it. I like it a lot. I own it. But it's not like the first 4 for me. It doesn't have that same satire. It's a little bit derivative. It's almost like the movies they're talking about in the first 4 Scream movies, which is great. It's a fun slasher, but it's not like a Scream movie where it's a satire about slashers. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the stab movies they're talking about. So I liked it. I think, you know, Craven and I have talked about this, you know, like Sam, I don't know. But I liked it. I just didn't love it. And so now with the same cast and everything, yeah, I'm not as excited as I would have been. I do think this could potentially be a lot better, though. We've got a new setting, which is something we don't really see with this franchise, which tends to be, you know, following the same formula since the first one. And I think it'd be awesome to get to know these characters a little bit better because they didn't get a lot of time in their first outing in the first movie. So I think this potentially could be 1,000 times better than the last one. And hopefully I can be with the rest of you when you're all raving about it and be like, yeah, I loved it too, because I like to be part of the party. So I'm very excited. I'm just a lot more cautious than I was with 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I have concerns about 5 or about 6. I'm not gonna lie, I do, because my main concern, and I'm sure we'll talk about this movie more later, but my main concern is you're right. We didn't get enough character development with the new characters in part 5, and you would hope we get it in 6, but they're also introducing like 4 or 5 new characters along with bringing back some other old characters. So you gotta wonder how much they're gonna be able to do. So we'll talk about.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm sure we'll talk about Scream 6 a little more later.
I feel like with the original Scream, they weren't trying to cast like archetypes or anything. They had these characters. I mean, Stu, Tatum, everybody. You love everybody in that movie. You know, you love Bathroom Girl. They're also memorable. Whereas in this one, it's like, this is our Randy fill-in, and this is our, you know, like I feel like they were kind of checking off boxes on we need these kind of characters, and I just want them to stand out a little bit more on their own. I think Sam's a really interesting character. I hope
the potential to be.
The actress, I think, holds it back a little bit, but that's a rant for another day, guys.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I'm sure we'll have plenty of those days coming soon.
I was gonna say, yeah. Stay tuned.
All right.
Like us talking about Scream, that's never going to happen again.
Never happens. It never happens.
All right, Craven, what do you got at your number 3?
All right, so my number 3 is one that I think we've touched on earlier already. Yeah, we did. But it is going to be Evil Dead Rise. I'm rising to the occasion to see this movie. I'm so ready for it. Look at this, man. That trailer was fantastic. I mean, that mother looks, the effects, the makeup is just great. I mean, when I remember seeing her and it's watching that trailer, and I was like, oh, all the spooky senses were going off, and the spooky bumps were raising up. And I'm like, this is gonna be good. And
It's about to,
bro. Well, I was just gonna say, it's nice to see him out of the cabin. You know, we're in an apartment building now. You have multiple floors. You could do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Like Demons 2, guys.
Never saw Demons 2.
Never saw it.
Did you see Demons 1? Demons 1, there's a movie theater and a helicopter is inside of it. And a motorcycle. Guys, watch party.
Oh,
Man,
Wow.
Let's do it.
Wow.
I will host us a Demons watch party. Brandon, you know what's up. You got to be there.
We got to bring the spicy
I'll be
mustard
there.
for that. Tell you what.
Dip the Takis in that mustard.
Oh, there you go.
So
Yeah.
they're about to premiere Evil Dead Rise down in your part of the country, Craven, South by Southwest. It's premiering this weekend.
Really? No way.
Mhm. Yeah, the director, he made a fun little tweet with a cheese grater. And we're packing up our bags and going to South by Southwest.
Oh,
So we're all going to go
dang.
hang out with Craven this weekend at his place, just crashing the couch.
There you go.
I was thinking we could head to South by Southwest, maybe sneak our way in.
Bring your sleeping bag. We have plenty of room. No,
I'm down, y'all.
that's so cool. Well, listen, I'm excited to see it, and even though I know we won't be getting Ash, it's sad, but I'm ready to see what these two new lead female characters are going to do. And when I saw the director say that he used 6,500 liters of fake blood in this movie, I was like, okay, I'm sold. Let's go, man.
Well, you know why that is, right?
It's their
Because with the
elevator
Evil Dead
scene.
remake, they broke the record. At the time the
Yeah.
Evil Dead remake came out with that scene with the blood, they broke
Yeah.
the record for the most blood in a movie. It got pushed aside by It Chapter 2.
Mhm.
So yeah, they're taking back the award for most blood. So good for them.
Yep, 6,500 liters. So I'm excited. I really am.
Kind of people.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it as well. And it looks to me like and y'all feel free to weigh in, but I feel like it kind of looks like a sequel to the 2013 remake. It has a very similar feel to it, in my opinion, from the trailer. Because
It's the editing on the trailer. Like, it was like, if you watch the remake trailer and you watch this trailer, it has some similar same beats. Like, I don't know if they got the same person to cut it or what, but like, it's like, doosh, doosh, doosh. It just gives you that feel. Like, it's almost.
and I loved the
I wouldn't be
2013
surprised
remake.
if they do tie it in. Like, they might be lying to us, if they do tie it into the remake or to the previous movies.
I was kind of thinking, because we had that Ash stinger with the last one. He's not in it, but it's just a fun little thing for fans.
Yeah.
I thought, wouldn't it be cool if there was a Mia stinger for this one? Because the Evil Dead franchise, I love Ash, but let the man retire, okay? Like, he works so hard and he wants to retire. Let's be thankful for what he's given us and let him,
I feel like he's actually going to show up in it.
I don't think he will. He's
Oh,
super
man. That'd be
he's tired and old, and he produced it. So I think, but there's so many other great characters, and I think having like Mia show up, or even somebody from like the TV show, like Pablo or somebody, could be really, really cool. I personally don't think it is
Dana would be
related to
cool.
the last one, because Evil Dead, it's been established that it's kind of a multiverse in itself. Like, that cabin is kind of the apex of it. Talk about this a lot more later, because this is going to be on my list, but that's why you have like the Oldsmobile in the remake, even though that's Ash's Oldsmobile from his. And that's why 1 and 2, it shows the same trip, but now he's just with his girlfriend. There's production reasons for that, but it's kind of been established that it's like a multi-dimensional thing, and there's a lot of crossover. So it's its own thing, but that doesn't mean that Mia or anybody from the other movies could be in there. Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, it makes 100%.
Tiny, wibbly wobbly dimensiony stuff.
I don't know. There's just kind of a feeling I had in the back of my head. He's been so adamant about he's not in it that I'm just getting like Andrew Garfield vibes where every interview, no, I'm not in the movie. I'm not in the movie. And I'm like, maybe he's in the movie a little bit.
I have a theory about where it's
Doctor
going to
Strange.
connect. But yeah, I'll save it.
Okay. All right. I believe, is it Tamina? My number 3? I think it is. Okay. My number 3.
I can't remember if we're good.
Yeah. We started with him. My number 3 is Saw 10. I absolutely love the Saw franchise. I think it has one of the best storylines. I've said it on a ton of streams. I think Saw is just like a big, beautiful horror soap opera that just like continually weaves and works its way around. I even like Spiral. So, and Saw 3D. Like I've legitimately liked every Saw movie that's come out, and I love how to see like they tie everything in. There's been like a few hiccups, but once you get like 9 or 10 entered, like 10 movies that all are in the same storyline, you're gonna have 1 or 2 like continuity mistakes. I can forgive that at the number 10. So I don't find a big deal with it. And we're getting John Kramer back. We're getting Amanda back. So I'm on board already. Take my money. Saw 10. My number 3.
Heck yeah.
Is it okay if I run to the little Gory's room really quick?
Go for it.
Absolutely.
I still think it's hilarious when she says little Gory's room. Brandon, would you like to go ahead and start off with your number 2?
Yeah, man. For sure. The Nun 2 actually is my number 2. Yeah,
All right.
2. I'm a huge Conjuring and Annabelle fan. Like it's up there, like with Halloween. Seriously, like it's just like I just enjoy it, man. That paranormal, that it takes a lot for me to get scared. I've never been scared of like Ghostface or Michael. It's just I look at them like superheroes, like the Avengers or something. Oh, yeah, I did not expect that. But yeah, I just love the Conjuring. Annabelle literally lives with me. Valak literally lives with me. Literally, I see them every morning.
Wait, you have like full size?
Yeah, Craven seen them before.
I don't know if I can. Yeah, I was about to say I don't know if I could do that. Like
Brandon, can you do it, man? Can you make it?
Here's Annabelle right here.
There you go.
And I'll show you. 1 second.
Get ready, man. Get ready. When you see this, man, oh my gosh, this gives me chills every time. Look at that.
Oh, that is creepy.
I'm not sleeping in the same house.
Yeah.
No.
I am sleeping in that room when I come over.
Yep. So yeah, I'm a big Conjuring fan, man. Huge.
That's cool.
I love the Conjuring universe too. It's getting up there like Saw, where everything like interconnects and works its way through. But I don't think it's quite that level yet. But it is also amazing.
Here's my one request as a practicing pagan. I don't care if the villain is a witch, but can we give her a better reason for killing people other than because she's a witch? Duh! Of course she's gonna eat the baby. So,
that's what I loved about That's what I loved about the first Conjuring was like it was the witch, it was Bathsheba, but like she was done real dirty, and that's why she put a curse on the land. Like yeah, it was the witch who did it, but obviously murder or anything like that is never justifiable. But if you were ever going to justify it, it was
what
done
did they
pretty
do to her?
dirty.
I think I missed that. I've only watched it once, and I was just like,
I've never
Didn't
seen
they,
it.
like-
You guys,
What?
Eric's been trying to get me to watch The Conjuring. I love James Wan. I've never
gotta
seen
see
it.
You gotta see
Craven,
it.
you've never seen The Conjuring?
Yeah,
So-
man. Oh yeah.
He's not a paranormal kind of
Yeah, I don't-
spiritual.
Yeah.
I don't like typically religious horror.
But this
You know.
one is right. This one is really good.
Well, that's
I
what
have to give
Nice
it
told me
another
that, too.
chance.
he said. He said that I'll think the way that he said the way you guys told me the way the movie goes and ends that it's done right, like it's done good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and there is one. I mean, from what I've understood, the way it's depicted in the movie is very faithful to the accounts given by Ed and Lorraine.
okay.
And it is a fact that Ed Warren is the only non-ordained person to perform an exorcism.
I will say that with the Warrens, a lot of what they put out there is bullshit. A lot of they put their accounts out there, but they're not at all like the couple in there. If you watch them in interviews, he's really aggressive. He's not the sweet, warm, loving husband that he is on the movies. I think the characters they created are great, but the real people, they're kind of charlatan-y.
Yeah, Lorraine Warren. I watched a lot of interviews with them, and they're definitely not like the movie.
No.
Maybe Lorraine Warren's kind of like a little bit, but yeah, a little bit, literally.
And the biggest thing is what I find really interesting about this whole franchise is their biggest case of all time was Amityville, which they said in numerous talk shows, oh, it's so haunted. And then it came out that the book and everything about Amityville was a hoax. It was never haunted. It's never anything. They made that to make money. So it made Ed and Lorraine look really, really foolish.
And that's something that they opened the second one.
Mm-hmm.
The second one opens in the house, but it doesn't actually go into the investigation. It just that's the setting. And honestly, I think the second Conjuring is a little better in my opinion. The third one was it was interesting. Yeah, but I do love the whole universe. Do you know what the highest grossing film in the Conjuring universe is?
Is it 2?
No. It'll surprise you when you hear the answer.
Annabelle.
Annabelle.
No.
Oh, dang.
The Nun.
Creation.
The Nun is the highest grossing film in the Conjuring franchise.
That's the only one I've seen at the cinema, so that makes sense. I mean, from my perspective.
I did not even know that. That's crazy.
That is crazy. A lot of people hated that. But it's probably because of how scary she is, and so everyone would see it opening day. And
I pulled the comment up just for you, Gory.
Yeah, we do. This is something I've been saying for a really, really long time because we have so much Catholic exorcism movies, and I've even seen a couple like The Possession with a Jewish take on it. I would love to see a witch one on it because we're not all bad guys. We do cleansings and shit. Witch could do it. I want to see a witch exorcist in a movie. Straight up.
All right, we're at number 2. So I actually want to let's go backwards this time. We're gonna go back to Destin.
Destin. And his
what do you got at number 2, buddy?
Oh, I'm already at 2. Dang, I have a couple more.
More.
All right. Well, if I'm down at 2, there's only 2 I can add. There are probably about 3 or 4 movies I am most anticipated for, but Evil Dead's number 2.
Okay.
Evil Dead.
And we've already said more about that.
Yeah. I mean, Evil Dead Rises. I am hoping that it hits. I hope it lands. As much as I do like Evil Dead the remake, that trailer was like, oh, it looks scary. But when I watched the movie, as much as I did like the movie, I wasn't ever scared. It didn't hit the same way as the trailer. And maybe it was because I knew so much about it before I went into it. Sometimes that can ruin your experience a little bit.
Agreed.
Maybe that was my case, but I've watched it recently. I watched the extended cut and everything. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. I love this, but I'm not scared.
Were you scared with any of the original ones though? I wasn't.
No, I wasn't, but this one seemed like it was going to be taken a lot more dark. It was going to be deep. It was going to be like Exorcist on steroids. That's what it made it look like. And that's what this trailer has sold me completely. It looks great. but I think it's still gonna have like a little bit of. I just hope that it lands right. Like I hope they do tie it in. I hope it's not just a standalone. It's just like there's no explanation. How did the book get underneath the building? Do we see like?
I have so many theories.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
what do we see a time jump to where they knock down the cabin and they build, and now like civilization is built over on that land?
You can't knock down that cabin.
I mean, honestly, it could happen. I mean, honestly, I think I know exactly how the opening's going to happen. That's going to be the whole cabin situation, and where the girl gets her scalp ripped off. I don't know if y'all remember that from the trailer. And then you see her, and then you see, yeah, and then you see her rise out of the water like that. And I think the title card's going to come on. It's going to say, "Evil Dead Rise."
So I was going to wait till my turn, but this is my theory on the whole thing. I actually think that's going to be a flashback because we have these two sisters, right? One of them has a family. The other one has been gone somewhere. She's reconnecting with her sister. She has, the one who lives there has the Necronomicon in her storage facility. So why does she have it? We know that they probably have been to this cabin before because we see clips of the cabin. I think they probably spent summers at that cabin as children. Then one time something horrible happened. Somebody read the Necronomicon. Guys, don't ever read the Necronomicon out loud. It's a buy yourself quiet book is the way it is. Anyway, somebody read it out loud and then they dealt with it. And I think these two sisters, probably work together. Or my theory is their dad is Nobi. And he helped them like get rid of it or whatever. But you have to keep the Necronomicon safe. That's what Ash says. You have to make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. So she's kept it. I don't know why she's putting it in her storage facility, but I think that's showing us kind of their past and that it's kind of come back for them. And if their dad's not around anymore, now it would be up to them to protect themselves. And then you see one of Nobi's daughters in Evil Dead too. So it'd be kind of like a multiverse way of doing it, which would be really, really cool and a cool connection that doesn't rely on Ash. Did I lose you guys?
No. I was just thinking. I'm trying to correlate the trailer to what you're saying, and in the trailer, it didn't look like, at least from what I saw, there were actually no words in the Necronomicon. It was the record player that they put on the record, and that's when it started. The words actually started coming out of that.
That's Nobi, and she has the book. So, I mean, I'm filling in the blanks here, but I'm assuming it's the girls in the dock. That's the girls younger. The record is Nobi, the guy who found the Kandarian demons and everything. So if he's like their dad and he's investigating, and it makes sense why they would have that recording, and he would have the Necronomicon.
Gotcha. All right, really quick, Brandon. I know you got to head out. You want to drop your number one really quick?
Yeah, definitely. So my number one is Scream 6.
Yeah.
Oh, what a surprise! That's a great one.
Yeah, before I head out, I just want to say, so Scream 5 was kind of like for me, but I got literally a lot of high hopes since the trailer. With you're in New York City, you got dark alleys, graffiti on the walls, you're in subway stations, and you got college and everything going on, and I'm excited. I want to see Tara's character and Sam, see what they got going. And it's going to be interesting to see it play out without Sydney. So, new is sometimes good. So I'm excited to see what happens. It's in New York City. You got this big city. You got to utilize it. I want to see someone get hit by a taxi, running from Ghostface. If I don't see that happen on Times Square, someone's getting chased by Ghostface and the taxi man is on his phone or something. He hits him or something. Or Ghostface even get hit by a taxi. With his little drapes and everything. I think it'd be crazy to see him get up, get hit, by a taxi or something. Just keep it pushing.
That would be crazy.
That would be really fun. I didn't even think of that, but I'm on board.
Just picture, you see his little drapes and everything, and the guy hits him like, what the, never know.
You never know.
I love the answer, and I haven't even thought about Ghostface getting hit by a taxi, but
yeah, that would be crazy. Getting hit by a taxi.
I was hoping we'd see one like trying to chase someone down a fire escape and slip off the ladder. I think that'd be hilarious.
Or you got to have like an alley scene kill by a dumpster. One of those scenes you just cornered and he got you, man, and it's over. You got to do it.
That alley picture that was released, I'm almost certain below that camera line, there's someone laying dead right there.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't doubt it. Yep.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited, man. I got high hopes for Scream 6. I'm super-
I do as well, and I'm sure we'll hear more about Scream 6.
yeah.
Yep.
All right,
I have
man.
a hunch.
Thanks so much for coming and staying where you could. Yeah, have a lovely night, man.
Definitely,
man.
man. Seeing you guys.
Good to
Always
see you,
fun.
Brandon.
Definitely, man. So see you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace out. See you, man.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Peace.
He's such a sweet dude.
Oh yeah.
All right. So I think that means we're on to you, Craven. You're number 2 for the. We're going.
All
Yeah, we're
right.
going around that way this time.
Okay. Number 2, we've talked about. It is Saw X for me. I'm very
X gonna
excited.
Give it to you.
Oh, I'm so excited for this movie. And, you know, it's coming out in October, so we got a long ways to go still. But I'm very, very pumped as we get further into the year when we get trailer and start getting marketing materials. But, the you know, having Tobin Bell back and Shawnee Smith.
And Billy.
And Billy, of course. I'm just
Billy.
really, I've got to have Billy. Billy. I'm very excited for this movie. Don't know what it's about. Don't really care. All I know is I've got Toby and Shawnee and another Saw movie and Billy. And so, heck yeah, I'm sign me up all day long. I will be there for that movie. Really, really ready for it.
There's only one thing I hope it's not. And this
Okay.
is something I've talked with Knight about it because he did his whole series on Saw. And I brought up one particular aspect, and maybe you all have some comments on, but it just seems like they kept introducing new reasons for Jigsaw to do what he did. So I'm hoping this isn't like a layout, because first it was the car crash. He survived, and that was his whole will to live.
His baby too.
Then it was his the unfortunate incident with his pregnant wife. And then it was his cancer diagnosis. And I'm like, come on, how many reasons did this guy was just looking for something to point him down this path? So I just hope it's not something where they're trying to give yet another explanation.
I think what they said was that basically the cancer diagnosis and the baby made him want to die. And then when he was in the car accident, he realized he wanted to live. And so he realized going through something horrible made him appreciate his life. So I don't think they need to tread it over again, though. I think you're right. They've tread back and they've X'd that. Like I've seen an X.
X'd it. They saw X'd it.
There you go.
This is gonna be
what do you guys think? Here's what I want. I want them to address the doctor that Carrie Oles plays. Like they introduced him as part of the cult, and then they just dropped that. Like,
well, they introduced him as part of it. Then with Saw 3D. They went all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Or it was the end, but they tied it into the very beginning, which is apparently like it's supposed to be before Hoffman and before Amanda. So they got some, and that was one of the things I was talking about with like continuity errors, but they can fix that. They can tidy that up easily. So I'm super excited for Saw 10.
But they're not going to tie in Spiral with it whatsoever. They're dropping that.
Thing.
Well, I don't think they would. I mean, they're not going to be able to because this is a prequel, and Spiral doesn't exist till after John's already dead. So
right, we're going back in time.
Yeah.
See, I was hoping at the end. I was hoping at the end of Spiral that we were going to see.
Back in time.
I adore you.
I enjoyed Spiral. Like
I liked it a lot.
I just wasn't a big fan of it. Unfortunately, I wanted to like it, but I
don't think it was predictable to the point it was boring, though. I had a lot of fun with it. My only complaints was the final scene, how it was set up. I was just like, but I had a good time with it. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah. I thought there was some pretty interesting ones. There were some awful looking traps. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be trapped in any of them. So.
Oh, by the way, earlier I was talking about if I had a big beard, I'd want to hide kittens in it. And someone said that you should hide kittens in your beard. You could make that a saw trap.
Right now I might be able to. I think I need a little bit more length before I could.
Your beard is the saw trap. It could be
Eric's
like crumbs or little critters.
If you find what's in Eric's beard,
Oh
you can
no!
survive.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh. So it's you guys are not Destin and me, obviously, because we don't have beards, but like you guys and like Brandon and all the guys who have beards, and you're all chained up and you have to find the thing that's hidden in somebody's beard. The movie writes itself.
See, it's a lot easier than people would think, because all I got to do to find what's in my beard is I just do this. I just flip through it. Everything comes out.
We need beards, Destin.
All right. I think we're on to you, Gory. What is your number 2?
I'm super excited for this. This was supposed to come out last year too, and I was extra excited because a cousin of mine saw the first 15 minutes at the premiere for Black Phone and was like, holy shit. And that is Salem's Lot, directed by Gary Dauberman. It's got a great cast. William Sadler is horror royalty, if you ask me. And he's going to be playing the big vampire Barlow. So I love him. Salem's Lot, it's so crazy that it's never had a theatrical release. We had that mini-series with Toby Hooper. We had the mini-series that starred Rob Lowe. To get a theatrical release is really cool because this movie has not just one scene, it's so many iconic scenes that are so scary, like Barlow crashing the heads together or the kids scratching on the window, which is the movie poster. But the book is one of the scariest books I've ever read. There's so many things in the book that I've never seen. Like there's basically the whole town becomes like vampires at one point. And at one point, like there's a trailer park and they're like eating their kids. Like that book is so scary. From what I understand, that this movie is really just trying to wring all the scares out of that book. And like I said, great cast. So, I'm excited, guys. My cousin, like, he said, like, everyone's speechless. Yes.
The kid scratching the window haunted my nightmares for a long time.
So scary.
Yes.
So, all right,
Totally.
yeah, that's another. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's so many movies coming out this year. It's going to be a great year for horror. All right, I think we're on to me.
Your chat.
Huh?
My little brother popped in your chat, Zigma.
Oh,
He
sorry.
doesn't even like horror movies, but he watches all the streams that I'm on. He's so sweet.
That's cool.
Hi, Zigma. Bye, Zigma. He left already. All right, I think we are on to me, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
My number 2 is going to be a shocker for some people. But my number 2
Shocker
is
Part 2 would be a great
Bed
one.
Rest 2.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude. Bro.
Temper.
That is not even funny, Eric.
Oh.
That's blasphemy.
Oh, I gotta see it now, guys. I gotta see it.
Oh gosh, man. You're gonna make me do an exorcism.
I made that earlier because I'm like, I need to put a joke in here, and I made Bed Rest 2.
Gosh.
Tempur-Pedic.
Oh, that's great, man. That is awesome.
That is
Wow.
so funny, Eric. That's awesome.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the first one.
I dare you to make a
Either,
video
but they
that is
hate
your
it.
thumbnail and and I swear I dare you to do it.
Oh, I will. I was like, I don't know. I made the joke, obviously, in my top 5 of last year that it was, number 1, but I'm like, I gotta, it works in rules of 3. So I got to do it here and then I got to throw it in somewhere else. So, but
April
yeah,
1st will be here before we know it, man.
it
We can
will.
announce the sequel.
Oh, April 1st. We gotta up our game this year. I want to see some pranks. Good ones.
Yeah.
Not I'm queening my channel. That's a lame prank. Everyone's done it. I want good ones, like what Eric's got. Eric's gonna come through.
I'll figure something out, but no, it is not Bed Rest 2. It's we've already talked about it at length. Evil Dead Rise. I love the Evil Dead series. Literally every movie, in my opinion, has been solid. They're just odd. Like, I love the comedic elements to the first 3. They're so quotable, and I love the fact that it was just like college kids wanting to go out and make a movie and found some rundown shack in the back of the woods and made one. And that, to me, is, I think we need more of that nowadays. I think it could, and we see where it's at now. Like, look, it's a huge budget feature that's going to be showing all around the country, all over the world. So yeah, just with everything that happened in the first 4 and Ash vs. Evil Dead, like how crazy, zany, and fun that was, I think this movie is going to be a hit. I have really high hopes for this movie, and I have very, very low, like very low expectations that it might fail. Like I'm banking on this movie being a hit because every other one so far has been. So my number 2 is Evil Dead Rise.
Eric, you got to see Sarah's comment in the chat.
Okay. Is it this one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
figured you'd enjoy that.
Rest in
Oh,
peace.
Nice
Well,
one,
I'm
Sarah.
gonna make this, Sarah. You and I, we gotta make this into a franchise. I'm gonna make
Yes.
posters for every single one of them. Like this, the poster I made for 2 was super easy. I literally just took the poster for 1 and added some stuff. But like, I want to make a franchise out of bed rests.
Yes. Absolutely, man.
So I don't know if I should skip this one or watch it.
It's watch it so you support horror.
Yeah.
Don't watch it and expect anything great.
Yes, that's right.
It's
on Tubi. It's free.
It's pretty by the numbers. Like that's
She
one thing I'll
has a
say
new
about.
show out too on Netflix, right? Called
That's right.
Keep Breathing. There's a new Netflix show that she has out that's called Keep Breathing. Like it's like a crashed plane underwater.
Oh, that was like a few months ago. Yeah, I never saw that.
I haven't watched it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never even heard of that.
Yeah.
I probably won't after seeing Bed Rest because I think we've seen what Melissa Rare, like we've seen who she is. She's the same. She's Sam Carpenter in the movie. She's the exact same character.
You guys, summon Extron.
Eric.
Extron, if you're here, buddy, I'm just kidding.
Oh gosh.
Eric, Kevin says, poster, you need to make a trailer.
Oh, dude. You can make a mock trailer of footage from her from other shows. Edit them all together. Oh, dude.
Oh, I could totally do it. I could totally do it.
Yep. You could.
I love that you play by Roger Rabbit rules. Like, it's totally worth putting the time into it if it's funny.
Yeah. Save probably so many hours to get that.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Chrissy, which by the way was in the chat earlier. That's my fiance.
Oh, cool.
She has heard about this joke, this bed rest joke for like the past 3 days, and she's so tired of it already. she was like, I hope someone else finds it funny because you're just finding it too funny right now. And I'm like, it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah,
that makes it funnier.
Yeah, exactly.
You are by it.
I could make a trailer. I will see what it would take to put together a trailer for part 2, and I might just do that.
That's awesome.
Also, just want to say, hey Marcus, buddy, I shot him 6 times.
Marcus, what's up,
Shot
dude?
him in the heart.
He's not human.
We're all doing good. I think we're about to list our number 1.
I know what Craven's gonna pick, and probably what Dustin's gonna pick.
I think I know what everyone but Gory's gonna pick.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I put the number of the pick up in the top corner so I remember.
I didn't notice that. At first I was like, I didn't know what it was, and then I figured it out. Very clever.
And so I remember where I'm at.
Nice.
That's smart, dude.
All right. So I'll take volunteers. Who wants to go first with their number 1 pick? I think Gory, you should go first.
Okay. I'm so excited. My number 1 pick is Evil Dead Rise. It's going to be the best movie ever. Let me break this down for you. So I think there's a lot of great franchises in horror, but I think the only one that's truly flawless is Evil Dead. I mean, it's not just been good every time, it's been exceptional every time. Evil Dead, when that movie came out in 1981, it scared the shit out of people. You know, it made a huge splash, and it's something these guys made. I wish they would have transferred over to the Blu-ray, but you could tell that the moon was like a piece of paper. Like, how cool is it that with like just gumption and time, they put together this movie that really impacted people. It was one of the 3 movies I was forbidden to see because it scared my dad so much. And then they make Evil Dead 2, which is like that, but funny. And then Army of Darkness, which is so funny. Then it did the impossible and made a series that was incredible. And then the impossible again by making a remake that I would say is just as good as the rest of the franchise. It's so good. So I have no doubt this is going to be amazing. And it's because Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell have shepherded these films, you know, every single one of them. They've made sure that they're good. They know what needs to happen in order for them to be good. They're not going to let it be anything less than that. I don't think you need Ash. He wasn't in the last one. The last one was great. I'm surprised so many people are really hung up on that. I'm like, guys, did you not see the last one? He wasn't in that either. It's cool that this is an Irish New Zealand movie. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that before. I think it's awesome that we've got, female leads in this. I think the trailer looks cool. People are also complaining that it doesn't look funny. There's so many parts in this trailer that look awesome. I really hope, like I said before, there's that connection to Nobi and more of the mythology, because there is a cool mythology here. I think the book looks good. You guys are really tired of hearing me just like talk about how excited I am.
No, not at all. Like, we talk the same way, and I'm sure we're about to all talk the same way about a particular movie.
Makes me excited.
Evil Dead, one of the things I think is so clever is I think there's a few certain things where even if you've never had it happen to you, we know that, like, you feel like I've never had a nail break. Never really had a nail break all the way off, but like when you see it in the ring or something, you're like, oh shit. When we see a needle in someone's eye, like we feel it, you know. And Evil Dead, they do that with like the cheese grater and the eye and the scalp. Like they just, I think it's just, Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi, they just have a knack for that. And I really hope Bruce Campbell, especially, his favorite movie of all time is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. He loves him and Raimi both love the Three Stooges, and then you see that a lot in Evil Dead 2. We get a little bit of that. It'll be gold. So I'm excited. And also, like Demons 2 with the high-rise apartment, if you guys haven't seen that, that is kind of similar. There's like a Dead-Eye type thing that goes through people, and that movie's insane. We need to watch Demons 1 and 2.
I'd be down.
Never seen it.
I'm down.
They're Italian films by Lucio Bava.
Didn't they make a remake with
Umberto Bava,
Edward Furlong?
That's Night of the Demons, which is also really good, but different. Demons.
Oh, okay.
It's an Italian film by Lamberto Bava, and they have like this movie they go see, and then if you watch the movie, like people can start getting possessed, and it's insanity, but it's got incredible special effects. It goes balls crazy. And then Demons 2, like, I don't know, you guys just need to watch it. It's so insane. It's got a lot of like Evil Dead in it with just the gore, and you know, there's a motorcycle in a movie theater. I don't know how much sense it all makes, but pure insanity.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I just wanted to
watch party. I'm gonna set it up.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to piggyback on one of the things you said about Evil Dead and like the pin, like going into the eye stuff. That part in the remake where like she stabs him with the syringe and he pulls the pin out of his eye and you see the skin coming out with it. I'm like, oh my God, that freaked me out so bad. And like with what they did with the in the trailer for the new one with the glass like chewing on it and you see it going down.
Yeah,
it's such great body horror. I think there's whole different kinds of horror, and Evil Dead has really done a great job with like just the body horror, like the things happening to people's bodies that we are like, we don't want to, we know that that's messed up, you know. But yeah, they just have so many iconic just creepy moments too, like Linda, the claymation Linda dancing in part 2. I love this franchise so much. Oh my God. Other things they've done great. They also have a musical, which is one of the best musicals ever. So good. They have an escape room in Seattle. I just love Evil Dead so much.
Evil Dead, and that's why it was my number 2. So I mean, I'm just saying it is amazing. But oh,
and one last thing. I mean, at first, I was actually nervous about this one because it's supposed to come out last year. It's going to go straight to streaming on HBO. And I was like, well, why is that? Are they not confident about it? There wasn't a lot of information about it. I didn't know that Bruce Campbell was involved. And then they screened it and they're like, holy shit, we need to release this theatrically. This is HBO who's been making so many cuts right now because they've been, having some issues. And then they had enough confidence in this movie to put more money into it to give it a theatrical release this year. So like, if that doesn't tell you that this is going to be good, then like, I don't know what else will. It's going to be awesome, guys.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show this one. I do think it will still have a little bit of comedy in it. Probably not as much as the first three, but I think or the show, but I think it will still have a few good chuckles in there.
My guess would be
like the
more
Any,
than
Mini,
the
Money, Mo
remake.
thing. Y'all remember that in the Green Band trailer or something? Like, I was like, okay, there's Evil Dead right there. There's the goofy Evil Dead side.
I love that too, where she's like, "Mom, you don't look so good." Like, it's a gallows kind of humor, guys. It's a dark humor, but it's totally my kind of humor, so I'm here for it. I don't think it's gonna be like Army of Darkness, where it's like, you know, a lot more campy, but I do think it's gonna be like a fun, dark humor, which we've seen in the franchise before.
And there's like the very obvious nods to The Shining with the elevator full of blood and then the bathtub, her coming out of it. So like, yeah, it's going to be great. Like, I don't think there's a chance this isn't going to do well. So
I think my only reservation is just, you can tell they're using a lot of, like, I get really tired of possession special effects. Like, watch Pray for the Devil yesterday, and I'm just like, you know, where it doesn't look real. It doesn't look like someone's really climbing up the wall. I think what they showed in their trailer of her coming out of the bathtub actually did look pretty good, but you could tell that they're using CGI and a mixture of other things. So it's a franchise that really came into its own with its great practical effects. So, you know, as long as they don't go crazy with the CGI and keep it in balance, we're all good.
Yeah, I think they'll do a good job with it. I'm excited. And I think it's been on like everyone's list so far, so I think that says a lot. All right, Destin, what do you got as your number one? I have no clue what it's going to be.
All right, well, here's my number one movie, my number one anticipated movie of 2023. Are y'all ready?
Ready.
I don't know.
Cocaine Bear.
Are you being serious?
No, I'm not being serious.
I
actually was surprised.
No judgment. If you're super excited about it.
It's Scream. It's Scream in the City.
We knew it was Scream.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care if the movie's horrible. I don't care what comes out. I mean, Goodfellas or the next Martin Scorsese film could come out this year, which I do think he has one coming out. I don't care what it is. Scream, if we're getting a Scream this year, it's always going to be number one. Hands down. So yeah,
that's
Scream,
royalty.
And Scream 6 won me over with that teaser because my biggest concern was I was like, oh, they could go a little cheesy with this. They could just like, yeah, we might have like a lot of kill counts. This might be the most brutal Goose-faced ever. Goose-faced. What's up, Goose-faced? But I was like, man, that tone has to be right. And that teaser, if that was any indication that this film is going to take itself seriously, that was it. It had me on board. I was like, this is a serious tone. This is what I want to see. Be mean, rip my heart out. As much as I don't want to say goodbye to some of my favorite characters, kill them. Just hurt me. Please hurt me. Like, I want to be hurt.
Are you okay?
I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all.
I mean, to talk, man.
No, I'm just saying, like that's what Scream does. That's what The Walking Dead does. They kill off your favorite people.
You think they're going to kill Gale?
No,
how would you feel about it?
I do. Oh, well, they're going to kill Gale or Kirby, one or the other.
They're not going to kill Gale. I'd make a bet on it right now, a very large one.
She's an executive producer.
Dude. Sorry for the spoilers, but it's been out.
What's that?
I mean, they killed Dewey.
They did kill Dewey.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and that was. I think there was a purpose to that. At least, I mean, obviously they said there was, and it was to prove that it could be done. If the only thing they can do to stand out is kill off a legacy character, well, then they only got 2 more movies to do that. So I just don't think that's the route they're going to take this time.
I hope not. I hope you're right.
Okay. Do you think that Sam, Tara, Kirby, and Gale are all going to live?
If there's anyone out of those people that I think is most susceptible to dying, it would be Kirby.
I hope not.
I can't accept it.
I feel like, I mean, I don't know because I haven't looked into. I know Craven knows a lot. You guys all know. You guys look
I
at
think that
all
would
the
make me
behind the scenes
mad
stuff,
because
but
why? I mean, like, you brought her back just to kill her off again. Like, I don't like it.
you guys know what the opening scene is and stuff. So I'm probably way off. But I thought it would be cool if the opening scene was Kirby getting attacked and actually killing a ghost face, then going to New York to find Gale and the rest of the last crew that survived in New York and being like, okay, obviously there's always another one. We need to figure out who it is, which would have been really cool. But I don't know. You guys probably already know what the opening scene is, right? Do you guys know?
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay,
No.
so it could still
No.
happen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
That's cool. That's what I would like to see.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would love to see, and I said this a long time ago. One of the things that I think they need to, I would like to see, I won't say they need to do, but one of the things I would like for them to do that would be a change up to the formula is kill a ghost face early on.
Yeah,
So, like,
in the opening, I think it would be cool if the ghost face died, not Kirby, and then you're like, oh shit, we haven't seen that before, and it tells you this isn't going to be the same formula again,
and then you got to kind of, and then you have paranoia throughout the entire movie. You're like, is it
Yeah.
happening again,
And-
or were they just a lone person?
That kill could be in Woodsboro too, so you kind of set off there. But then if Gale's in New York, Gale's the only other like survivor she really knows aside from like Sydney, and if the whole crew from 5 is in New York, it would make sense that she would go there and join up with them, right?
I think Gail's going to be the main target of 5. I think it's all going to work out.
I wonder if they're gonna. I wonder if they're gonna kill her off because I also wonder if that's part of why. I mean, I know it had a lot to do with money, but I was wondering like if in their script they were gonna kill Sydney because she would definitely turn it down.
No, they said they weren't.
They weren't.
They were not going to kill. They would not kill her. She's the only one that ever would be safe. Yeah.
I don't think they'll ever kill Sydney. Even if it's her last movie, she's never coming back. They're not going to kill her. Your Flight, even, and I made a short about this earlier today. Even if Tara's not coming back, I don't think they're going to kill her. Even if Jenna Ortega is getting too big, I don't think they'll kill her off because she's a huge star now. They can always bring her character back in the future. I think
Tara could die.
My philosophy is that the reason that Sam was the point of view character, I should say, of the last one is so that we know what none of the characters know, that she has visions of her dead dad. Even her sister doesn't know that. She never told anybody. We know that. And I don't think she's going to be the point of view character again. That's to make us always suspicious of her because we know mentally she's struggling with some stuff, right? So I think in 3, my philosophy is in 3, Tara and maybe some other people are gonna have to wonder if Sam is the killer, and we're gonna know something that they don't know, that she could be. She sees, she sees things that aren't there.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if they kind of pitted sister against sister.
Yeah. And honestly, Gory, like that's what I was thinking as well. It's something along those lines. But here's the thing: it's like I've always said that Sam's explanation to her sister was that she left to protect her. And Tara said on the hospital bed, like, protect me from who? You? The reason why she's protecting her is because I really don't think Richie was her first kill. She looked like she was really enjoyed that. I think that maybe she's had an episode before in the past and killed someone. And I've always suspected that Tara's dad is not missing. He didn't leave town. He didn't leave the family. I think Sam actually probably, we might get a flashback. We might get an explanation or something that she actually killed Tara's dad. And that causes a conflict between the two. Like, I don't know. I just something tells me that Sam, this isn't her first kill, with her run in with the law, with Judy Hicks and her having that whole conversation, always being a troublemaker, whatever, and also I honestly think that Sam's going to die in this one.
I don't think so. Cause I think we're setting up for like that sister versus sister thing in 3. Those are our big
I think we might get a little bit of that in this one. We might get something like that, but everybody that's on that poster with everything connecting is dead. And Sam is on that poster.
But if they kill her off, then that's like, what was the point of setting up all of that just to kill her off? You know, she's got this cool, interesting backstory for what?
Yeah, I think the point of the poster wasn't to point out Sam's dead. I think it was to point out that she's how everything's connected.
Yeah, I get that, but it also could be that maybe she could honestly like be a ghost face, but she discovers it on her own. Like she doesn't know that she has these episodes, you know, like it takes over. Like maybe she's, you know, getting worse as time goes on.
Or like high tension where she thinks she's hunting the killer and it's actually her.
Right.
Really quickly, Steven, can we assume what your number one is?
You can assume, but you maybe no. Yeah, of course, it's Scream. Of course,
Okay.
it's Scream 6. Yeah.
My number one is also Scream 6. Now we can continue this conversation because
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Now it's Scream talk the rest of the night, folks. Get
yeah,
ready.
as I say, if you like Scream, stick around. If you don't, please do stick around. If not, have a good one. Yeah, I've always. I remember
one,
that
baby?
theory, Destin. I've heard you talk about it before, and I remember what I said, and I maintain that if this wasn't her first kill, well, then she didn't learn anything with her first kill. So she was really bad at it because it took like 20 minutes for her to actually kill him.
I mean, honestly, that was her giving in. She was going in rage mode. She was sloppy. Yeah. But that was her just like not giving a damn. She just like, she snapped. That was her snapping. I think that before in her younger years that she's probably always had these visions of her father. And if she doesn't take her medicine properly or whatever the case.
You mean since she found out?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that she's always just, it's hereditary. Like I think that she has, maybe it's not Tara's dad. It could be somebody else.
See,
But
here's my
that's
point.
one reason why she left was because she knew that she was unstable and unpredictable. So she was like, I don't want this to happen to my sister. I have to leave.
I think that's a very sound theory. I just don't believe she's killed anyone before.
Okay.
Yeah.
My thought is I don't think she has killed anyone before because I think they really want us to suspect her. But I think if they did anything like that and it came up, it would be kind of cementing the fact that she's guilty and it would ruin a lot of the suspense. I think in part 3, it's going to be very much like, you know, kind of like the ending of part 5 where Tara really doesn't know if she can trust her sister. There's some part there where you can tell you can't tell. And I feel like they're going to expand upon that a lot more. But I feel like ultimately we're going to get a reveal. Like they're going to convince us every way they can that Sam's the killer because there's going to be so many reasons to think she is. I think ultimately we're going to find out that she's not because, you know, it's just like letting Sydney live. You know, final girls never live, but it's really important that she does live. That a final girl is not defined by the horrible thing that happened to her, that she can get a happy ending. And I think what I'd like to see them do with Sam is that you could have something really bad happen to you. You could even have some mental difficulties, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're a psycho killer. It's just too easy. It's too 80s.
And I think in terms of like mental health, I think a lot of movies are trying to get away from that. Like, oh, you have mental health issues, you're automatically a killer. Like,
what if they turn it? What if
that's what I'm trying to say is that from watching years and years of horror movies, it's not going to be hard to convince us or to make us suspect Sam as the killer. I think that's why it's going to be saved for the third one. But I don't see them actually, I see them setting it up, but I think the twist would be that she's not, that there's some other reason for it.
Yeah, see, I thought about another way that they could do it. It's like, okay, what if Sam actually did kill Tara's dad? Okay. For whatever reason, maybe he was a bad guy overall.
What if he's a killer?
He could be a killer, but wouldn't this cause tension? Like we've discovered this as the audience with Tara and her friends or whatever, that Sam did this. Then we're all on Tara. We're on Team Tara. And then at the end, Tara, we find out that Tara's actually a ghost face, that she's getting revenge back on her sister for killing her dad. Like they're going to have to come up with something clever. Because they're not going to have to, if they do another, it's just someone fanboying out or whatever. Like
They
that's
can't do
not
that
gonna,
again.
that's not gonna rock with me.
They've done
Like,
that for 2 movies
you're gonna
now.
have to connect something. You're gonna have to make it personal. You know.
I think Gail is going to be the main target. I think it's going to be people who have, and I know this is something Jake says he doesn't want to see, but I think it's going to be family members of past victims going after Gail for profiting off their family members' deaths because she wrote books on all of them. She embellished things. She made a living off of it. They made movies about it. So they're having to relive this horrible chapter in their lives because of Gail. So
And like I said, because if Kirby does kill one in the opening, she's gonna see who it is. That makes perfect sense. That she'd be like, okay, they're gonna go after Gail for exactly the reasons you're saying. And so that's why
that's what I think it could be. What about you, Stephen? What if you had to throw out a theory right now? And I know you've done tons of theories already. Who do you think the main target would be for 6? And do you have a motive?
Yeah, I think Gail definitely is the target. I think also that in my latest theory that I put out my video today actually was, what if we have the killers are going after survivors of previous attacks, and so they're euphoric, and that's why they're using the old masks. So these new Ghostface killers are looking at the older killers as being sloppy and unfinished business. They couldn't do the job. So they're going to step in and pick the slack up now, and they're going to go into the museum. They're going to steal the masks, and they're going to attack victims that previously survived, like Kirby, all the core 4. You've got Gail in there. And depending on Dermot Mulroney's daughter, who he said was a victim or was a victim of Ghostface, but he didn't say she was killed. She was attacked.
Yeah,
So,
never said she died.
Never said she died. So if Dermot Mulroney's daughter lived and is a member of the cast in 6, then that's like 7 survivors, not including Nev, that this person or persons could be trying to kill to finish the job of previous Ghostface killers. So my latest theory is they steal the mask and they wear them. They wear the same mask the killer wore in the original attacks for those victims that survived.
What is this museum though? Like, why would they even put it in a museum? Is it like
that's part of
is it
the
in
unknown?
Woodsboro?
No, it's a museum there, and it's in a theater in New York, and they find this theater, and
Like a
we've got
serial killer thing?
What's that?
Is it like a serial killer memento thing? Like
Yeah, it looks like it. We don't know all the details, but what we know is that they have the former masks from previous killers all encased in cases, in displays. And I got an actual shot of it from my buddy and Chris in Montreal. And one of the crew members was going in the theater, and they snapped a picture with the door open, and you can actually see the display case with the Ghostface costume and one with the torso beside it. So they're gonna what viewer Anon said was, and I think it's credible based on that information we know, is that they're going to find this theater and all the masks are gone. Someone has stolen all of these masks. And one thing I point out in the video today is that one image, remember, that leaked and then all of a sudden it disappeared, of the OG mask with the cracks. It was on the ground. Remember that? It was just laying there and it was wet. There was water drops, like raindrops. It was blood on the right cheek.
Yeah.
And then
I never saw that.
Oh yeah. That was the leaked image from what I believe is going to be the full trailer. It was a screenshot from a TV shot, and it's going to be, I guess, what's going to be in the trailer this month. And the mask, the OG mask, is just laying there, and it's got blood on it. And so my thought is, well, what if the killer is leaving the mask behind as a calling card or a signature at the crime scenes, a la Maureen Prescott's picture in Scream 3 was dropped, and these masks are being dropped at the victims' feet that were previously attacked and survived. And that's just my theory as of today.
Here's my question though. So if their motivation is to clean up the messes of other ghost faces to kill the survivors, wouldn't their number one target be Sydney?
It would,
Yeah.
and that's why we're going to have to address that. So, and they said that Tyler said that Nev is going to be Sydney is going to be addressed in the movie. So
You don't think they're gonna do like a Halloween 4?
No,
Kill her off.
no, not at all, because they want her back. Tyler says they want her back in 7.
Okay,
So,
good.
no, I think what we're talking about here
That's
is
a
you're going
good
to see
reason why she's
Gail.
not there.
Someone's going to say, "Hey, Gail, where's Sydney? Oh my gosh, where's Sydney?" And she's like, "Don't worry, her and Mark and the kids are in hiding." Or
like it's Scream 3, like she's off.
Yes.
No one knows. And in
Right.
3, it was except for Dewey. He knew where she was.
That's right.
So yeah, it's something like that.
Like
Yeah,
that.
that's really easy to do, and I'm glad they go about it that way because honestly, it makes sense. After 5, Sydney being a mother of 2, like she would do that to protect her kids. Now that she knows it can happen again, so that makes it makes more sense than her showing up in the mix.
Well, and they have connections too, because Mark is in the police force, so he's a detective, right? So
what if he shows up instead of Sydney?
Oh gosh,
that could be crazy.
Cool.
Like dreaming in a movie.
Yeah, but here's the thing about this theory, and again, it's just a theory. But the reason I liked it is because it makes sense why everyone's trying to be killed. Because Sam, all the core 4, they survived. See, they should have died in 5 in their minds. So now they're after all of them. They're after Tara, Sam, Mindy, Chad, Gail, Kirby. That's 6 people they're targeting in this movie. And that's just a possibility. And I do believe, though, that I'm sticking by this one theory. The Debbie Salt 2.0, as I call it. I think one of these guys, either Josh, Dermot, or Henry, one of the 3 older male cast members, are going to be involved. They're going to have a hand in these attacks. And I think if it's like Henry, he'll be a mastermind, or Dermot. I can't get away from that. I think one of those 3 are pulling the strings to some degree in this.
What about Samara Weaving's character? A big name to add to the cast.
Well,
I think she's opening kill.
Big names added, they are the killer.
I think she's opening kill.
I think she's going to be one of the killers if she doesn't get killed right away. Here's a theory, because I'm kind of looking at the chat here, and you mentioned this to me too, that Wrongfully Accused is the name of Gail Weathers' book. Yep. What if, and this would excuse Sydney maybe, and I'm just kind of shooting off my butt here, but what if it's people who are kind of avenging the Ghostbusters who've died because they believe that they were wrongfully accused? Maybe they think those people were justified in their actions somehow, right? Like, obviously Cotton actually was wrongfully accused, but what if they're like on the Stu train and they're like, no, he had every right to kill those people. So they're like avenging the Ghostfaces who've been killed.
Okay. So you're saying like still avenging, but you're not going after survivors because for that reason, but going after survivors because they're defending the old ghost faces.
Yeah.
Like what if they're like, no, Jill had the right idea, Mickey had the right idea, Bill and Stu, like they knew what was up. They were wrongfully, killed. Like they were not the bad guys in this situation.
Well, to quote Dodgeball, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for them.
And Stu's a really good one because, someone could easily a lot of these, there's 2 people. So maybe there's not a lot of evidence as to who did what, and maybe they think that there is a Ghostface or more than one Ghostface who didn't do anything, who's been lumped in with all these Ghostfaces. I mean, we know because we've seen the movies, but that doesn't mean that everybody in their world knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I do see a comment down there. I have heard some rumblings that wrongfully accused could apply to Sam. I think there's people out there who are going to believe Sam actually, and as we know in 5, the whole goal of Amber and Richie was to pin it on Sam because her dad was Billy Loomis. And I think there's rumblings that part of this of 6 is going to be that people think she actually was the real killer.
Yeah.
So that could happen.
And think about it. We've seen, I mean, how many people have we seen like Gail kill? Like she's killed a lot of people, but we see it from her point of view, so we're on her side. But what if somebody was looking at this from the side of the ghost faces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
might,
That's
we
what
might
I'm
have
going
somebody
after
that's
her,
related
because
to
she-
Richie that's getting revenge.
Yeah. And
Richie?
Gail especially has been behind a lot of people getting killed.
Yeah, she has. Not as many as Sydney. Sydney's taken out a lot of people.
Yeah. But even then, Gail's usually
my
right
girl.
beside her too.
Yeah.
So if they can't
she
get
always
to
is stuff.
Sydney,
Richie's father.
I don't want them to do a
doing
Debbie
that.
Salt thing again. But I mean, there could. I hope if they do that, they have a really good reason why this person would feel vindicated in I guess avenging the deaths of one or more ghost faces.
Well, remember, we're dealing with psychopaths. These aren't logical people.
Yeah,
They
I just
don't
don't want it
think
to
like
be
us.
like I'm their biggest fan, or I don't even mind that if they're related, like the Debbie Salt thing. It just that was poorly set up, obviously because the script changes with part 2.
Yeah. I think it worked. I thought it was very, very notable sequel, but I think
Oh,
I
yeah.
love the sequel. Don't get me wrong. I just wish that the reveal at the end just kind of felt like we need to get a different killer. Like I don't think they established her enough as like a I don't know.
Oh, really? I thought it was a pretty decent job of keeping
I also-
her in there just enough where we were like, oh yeah, we're aware she's there. Like I call it almost like hiding in plain sight kind of thing, where she's not there like overabundant amount of time. But she's lurking.
There are
It's
some of these
interesting.
parts though where like she's like asking Gail questions and she speaks to someone on the side. Like, why are you pulling it that far? We know why she's really there. She's avenging her son. And if she's this crazy, why doesn't she's in a reporter position, ask her about Billy Loomis? Like, you think that's what she would do because she's unhinged. It just felt like obviously they changed the script later on. I also not crazy about that actress in a serious role.
really quick, Destin, I know you need to go, buddy. Craven, Gory, do y'all need to head out as well? Or
I can go till probably about midnight, about another 10 minutes.
I got a good 10 minutes before I'm gonna have to pee again. So
okay, that works. Destin, if you want to head out.
Gory's room's right around the corner. So we're
Yeah,
good.
I'm sorry. I don't want to leave, but I need to. I'm going to regret it in the morning. And I'm sorry that I was late.
It's totally cool, man.
We all
I
have
love you.
families, so we get it.
I love you all, and I love Scream Talk. And we got so many nights before the release, and even after the release, we're going to be talking about this. And I look forward to it all.
Same.
Yeah.
But
Sounds good,
my theory is going to pan out. Just got to say it.
Hey man, let's go. Get it up.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Y'all
All
have
right,
a good
brother.
night. Thanks for the invite, Bearded. Love seeing all of y'all. Look forward to the next stream. All right.
You too.
Yeah, have a good one, man.
All right.
Bye,
Bye,
buddy.
everybody in the chat. All right.
See ya.
Go. Speaking of Debbie Salt, I had a realization the other day watching Scream 2, and I immediately messaged you about it, Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
Gail Weathers owes Randy Meeks her life.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Because I was watching it, and I was thinking about it after the fact, because obviously we know, rest in peace, that's where Randy lost his life in part 2.
Yep.
I was thinking about it, I was like, Randy wasn't the target. Like, she was gonna kill Gail right then. That's the only logical thing that could have happened. She was calling Gail. Gail just wasn't answering, and Randy picked up. Randy infuriated her by insulting Billy, and even if he hadn't, there's no way she would have known Randy was gonna wander right there in front of the van. Like, she was very obviously waiting on Gail to get back to the van to kill her, because it's Gail's van. Like,
that's right.
At the end, so Gail. The only reason Gail's in this movie is because Randy Meeks. That's all I'm gonna say.
Very true.
Also, you mentioning Randy makes me think of something. So that was Scream 2, and Randy was honestly the last big surprising main character that got killed up until Dewey. So we have two Randy replacement. Yeah, we have two Randy replacement characters in this movie. We've got Kirby and Mindy. I wonder, because this is essentially their Scream 2, if that's kind of a hint that one of them's going to bite it. I'm guessing
Mindy's gone.
I think Mindy's a goner. I'm putting her down as a victim. Yep.
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
I did a video about it. Here's why I think she's gone.
Plus, she's related to Randy. You see the symmetry here, guys? It's perfect.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's the reason she's gone. I think the reason she's gone is because her character in this movie doesn't really have a purpose.
Well, I'm saying there's the movie versions and then there's the behind the scenes versions. The movie version, I would say symmetry because, Randy was killed. You got to kill her.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes,
yeah.
she's a pretty derivative Randy. Like, at least Kirby brought something new to it,
And that's what I said in my video. Like, Kirby was a character who loved movies and who knew movies. And Mindy is a character trying to be Randy. Like,
well, she was dressed like him, and
she dressed like him. Like, I put the pictures in my video where like she gets up and does the same mannerisms, is exactly like giving that whole rule speech. And she's laying on the couch the same way. Ghostface sneaks up on her the same way. Like.
And even with Kirby, like Kirby was so refreshing because it reflected how times had changed. And at the time, 1996, you were a horror movie geek, you were a geek, and you weren't very cool. And I wasn't. But by the time we get to Scream 4, it was suddenly cool to know a lot about movies. And so like Kirby was the same character, but she was cool and confident because, she had, this cool like edge to her. And so like that character had a purpose, but what is Mindy's purpose? Like a mixture of the two. She has nothing new that she's bringing to this, except for that she's related to Randy.
Yeah.
And another part of the reason I think that Mindy's a goner is because I don't think Chad and Mindy are both making it out. I don't, unfortunately.
I don't think so. I don't know why they even saved Chad. I'm sorry. That's one of the most forgettable flippant characters. And no shade against the actors. I've seen them in other stuff. They're brilliant, especially Jasmine Savoy. She's amazing. Their characters, there's no meat there. Like, it's the kind of thing where I can't imagine them reading that script and going, oh, this is a Me Too role. It's not.
Oh, I think Chad is so much more entertaining than Mindy.
He had some funny lines, but
do you more personality.
What does he want? Like, with any character, you should know definitively what they want. And what does Chad want?
It's just the writing wasn't. They didn't give us any of that development. Like, we don't know.
There were too many to actually get into the characters. But if there's either one that I want to see explored, I want it to be Chad. Because I think if we explore Mindy, we're just going to find more copy and paste Randy in there. And we already had Randy. We don't need another one.
Right.
The only thing, the only thing Mindy truly brought was a copy and paste Randy. And we don't need that now because we've got Kirby back, who was a superior version of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, Kirby. I love Kirby so much. I'm so glad she's back.
I hope they actually intend to bring her back in 7. Like, I really hope their plan is not to kill her and to keep her, though. Like, not just to let her go off in the sunset, actually like contract her to return as Kirby Reed in 7. I don't know. Well, obviously we'll know by the end of this movie if that's possible, whether she survives or not. But it just seems to me if and I think I mentioned this the other day, if radio silence does not eliminate one of the core 4, they are basically taking the bite out of, or taking the teeth out of the mouth that bit hard in 5 by killing Dewey, and by them saying we're going to subvert expectations, willing to risk it all. And if you bring all 4 of them back, then they're doing the same thing that people accused Wes Craven of, which was, protecting his OG3, and that they're safe in every movie. He'll never kill them. So therefore, there's never worried about them dying. I didn't say that. People have said that. And if they all survive 2 movies, then they're doing essentially the same exact thing.
Which would be subverting expectations because no one expects all the core 4 to leave.
That.
I hope they don't do that. But
no.
I thought from the beginning, I thought this when I first saw Scream,
true,
Randy, I thought was either going to end up being the hero or the villain. I was wrong, subverted my expectations because it's of satire and horror and he knows the most about horror. But if you pay attention, obviously Billy and other characters do as well. But the satire part of it, a lot of it came from him. And that's why Scream works so well. And Scream 2 has a lot of that too. They even found a way to sneak a little into Scream 3. Scream 4, they fixed it by bringing back Kirby. And Scream 5 is largely lacking. It's not a satire. It's just a slasher movie, which is fine. It's a good slasher movie. It's not a satire. It's not as smart as the other Scream movies are. So if they're bringing back Kirby, that fixes their problem. Killing her off would be the biggest flipping mistake. It would be such a mistake, especially because she has, if anyone has the power, the ability to fill, I guess, Neb's shoes, like say she doesn't want to come back. Hopefully she does. I'd love to have her back for the next one. But Kirby has all the horror movie knowledge. She's survived Woodsboro. She's tough as nails. If anybody else could even come close to being as awesome as Sydney, it would be Kirby.
And she had a personal relationship with Dewey. We know that.
And a ghost face, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, she didn't.
And I liked it.
Yeah, I was about to say she didn't have too much of a relationship with Ghostface. She only really was interested in him in that like last day, really that like last hour before he stabbed her.
But she's smart. She's tough. She's a great character. I really hope that this isn't just fan service. That they're going to do something real with her.
I've seen conflicting things from leaks. One saying that like she's a very small presence in the movie, and others saying that she's in the movie a fair amount. So who knows at this point? I think what Radio Silence needs to do is release a trailer.
Right. Let's go.
Now that we're officially under 2 months away from the movie.
Yes.
And so like Renfield is like summer. We already got a full trailer.
Yeah.
Evil Dead Rise is April. We already got a full trailer.
Fairness was supposed to come out last year, though.
Yeah, we already got a teaser for the Barbie movie, and it doesn't come out till like July.
Everyone is so excited for this Barbie movie. I love it.
I am thrilled for the Barbie movie. I am so excited to see it.
It's like something we shouldn't be excited for, but we all are, and we're all okay with that.
All right. Well, with the Barbie movie talk out of the way, we'll wrap things up here. Last thing, either of y'all have any big things coming up on your channel you want to promote before we go?
I have a new morning show I do Saturday sometimes. If you want to hang out with me, 11:30 Pacific, and then this Sunday I'm gonna do a double feature with Half Cheetah Will View. We're gonna talk about Strangers over on his channel at 5 p.m. Pacific, and then Strangers 2 over on my channel right afterwards. Sunday.
Great films.
Great. Only thing I have, I've got Saturday. I haven't set it up yet, but tomorrow I will. Saturday night, again, my stream. Brett James Bishop will be joining me to premiere his trailer for The Shape of Halloween, of his fan film. So that's going to be a fun night.
What time will that be?
It will be 9:30 Central. This is when we're going to start. So I imagine we'll do that trailer.
Okay. You always pick the same time as me, just Central. So I'm like, okay, 7:30. All right. Which is like when I finish dinner, I'm good to go. Right. And I got nothing going on Saturday. So mark that on the calendar.
I can't wait. Schedule. Yes. And I have one announcement I can share. Eric, I'm going to break it on your channel. I haven't even shared it on my channel yet.
Oh.
So, and I don't have the date. We haven't locked a date down, but I just received written confirmation from this actor today who has agreed to come on my channel for an interview. And it's going to be, I won't say the name yet because I want to make sure everything is 100% locked in. But I will just say this, it is the stunt double for Mia Goth in Pearl is going to be coming on the channel.
Very cool.
So that's very exciting. I haven't shared this with anyone yet, and just got that confirmation today. She said, absolutely, I would love to do it. And so we're in the process of trying to get a date locked down in February. So next month, if it all pans out, it's not locked in yet, but it's looking good. So if it works out, I'll get to meet Mia Goth's stunt double.
And are you taking any days off this week? You are, right?
I can't promise you that.
Okay, so here's my idea for a stream. Me and Bearded come up with really cool awesome stories, and he has a really great song, and then we share them with you until you go night sleepy time, and then we talk really quietly to everyone in the chat so we don't disturb you.
Oh, so you want me to sleep on the camera?
Yeah.
Oh.
But then we'll be doing this whisper talk thing, which people are into now because of ASMR. So obviously, Eric and I are going to blow up and be super famous.
Of course you would.
I think so. I mean,
Eric, are you down for this idea?
Oh yeah, I'm down for that. I do have a live stream idea.
You can rub your beard against the microphone.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Well, let me just say something. This is a little bit probably TMI, but every night I sleep to the sound of fan sound, like a box fan, through Alexa and Amazon. And if you were looking for a great sound, white noise sound, just tell. I'll say Amanda because she's listening. I say, Amanda, play fan sounds, sleep sounds, fan sounds.
Tried that. Do you know she has every kind of sound? I do thunderstorm and rain, but I've even asked her play crying babies. Like she's got it all, dude. She's got
what?
Alexa, play me fart sounds. She'll do. Oh damn it, she's gonna do it. No,
that's why I said Amanda. I just like otherwise, yeah.
I just have an actual fan next to me. So
Eric says,
yeah, that's my son does that. He has a fan next to him, and I'm used to too. Just have a fan in my room.
It's that sound. Yeah, it's like it puts me out.
It's soothing.
Yes, Eric, go ahead. I think I cut you off, man.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just gonna say you're also coming up on 8,000 here soon. I think you're what, like,
bro. Let me look. I'll give you the live count. I have a live count running all day.
I was about to say you're getting really close.
I am 47 subs from 8,000 right now.
You'll be hitting that soon, man. We'll be having an 8K celebration for you soon.
It's gonna if my analytic, if everything holds, if the trend holds, you never know, ebb and flow. But if my current trend for the month of sub counts per day holds, I should hit 8K by next Monday. By the end of the day, Monday. So we might be having an 8,000 celebration stream next week. It's possible.
Okay. You deserve it, buddy. You work really, really hard.
I'll be there if you have one.
Genuinely kind people I've met on YouTube.
Oh, Gory.
I say that for you too, Eric. You're an awesome guy. I'm really glad that we've all become friends. And again, I owe that to you, Steven. So
yeah,
it means the world to me to see how many people that have come together. Like you guys are like, man, I would not have met this person if it wasn't for you and this person, and how the community just grows. And I love being able to have an interconnective tissue through these relationships that, when I'm long gone off this earth and God says it's time and I'm gone, all of you that are still here doing your thing, that connectivity will still be there. And you'll always be able to say, man, if it wasn't for CRAVEN 10 years ago, that to me, that's what legacy is about. Legacy is about establishing relationships that outlive you, that they continue to go and branch more. And to me, that's the legacy that excites me. And so it's so cool to see all the relationships and the community that's happened. And that's what my goal was from day one. And so I love you guys. And I just, it's an honor to be your friends. I really appreciate you.
We love you too. And it is an incredible honor. I'm so thankful every time we get a chance to just talk either backstage or watch a movie together on a stream or just talk on a stream. Yeah, it's always a great time.
It is. I mean, we'll go backstage.
I love the kittens hidden inside Eric's beard.
Well, the kittens in Eric's beard is next level. Yeah.
They're just pure sunshine and light. Like, how can you not love them?
I know.
All right. I think, with that, I think we're going to wrap it up. I got to feed the kittens in my beard, so I got to jump off.
Yeah, send him super chats. He's got mouths to feed.
I can't. I'm a long way away from super chats, but I appreciate the positive thinking.
You're on your way, though, buddy. You're on your way.
All right, everyone. We're going to jump off here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking around, and we will see you next time.